Sports TV, man. That's my dude. I rolls with him.
You heard what the man said. It's Flight Sports TV.
Flight Sports TV, that's where it's at.
Flight Sports TV.
What's going on, people? It's Flight Sports TV. I appreciate y'all for checking with me. Listen, right now, man, we're going to get a whole lot of shit. We about to talk about so much tonight, it's not going to be funny. I'm telling you right now, just buckle up. You know, I don't know, which direction tonight may go in, but we will be speaking on an array, of topics. Of course, we'll go down some of our usuals, but then, at the end of the day, we must discuss. Obviously, we on election night. We got to pay homage right there. And also we got so much political things going on and off the basketball floor. But recently, with so much politics all over the world, the NBA has been, a real grounds, for it all. It's happening, ladies and gentlemen, and we're going to break everything down tonight. Before we get started, I need everybody to hit that like button. If you knew, you done stumbled to the right place. Hit that subscribe button. It's Flight Sports TV. You already know what time it is. All access. What's the deal, Dex? Talk to the people. We live.
Yes, sir. Shout out to Flight Sports TV, the machine, the voice of the voiceless, the people's champ, the hottest shit in these streets. Shout out to the panel. Shout out to the chat. And shout out to everybody rocking for Flight Sports TV this November, Tuesday, voting election night.
Yeah, yes, Dax. You see what's going on. Well, when you think of election day, before we get into the basketball, what's some of the first things that come to mind? And also the chat, feel free to diverge. I see a lot of people talking about where they from. What's your thoughts on election night?
Well, every election, whether it's the Super Tuesday, which is the presidential election, or the midterms, where it's the House and the Senate, and it's all based on the balance of power. Everybody has their humdingers. You look at the red, they have their humdingers. You look at the blue, they have their humdingers. And then you look at the independents as well. And most time, independents either go red or blue. They tend not to go independent because that is not the largest party to be able to produce a stern candidate. So they basically vote their conscience. You got the economy that's very big in people's mind right now. Excuse me. You got the abortion issue, and then you got crime, and then you got typical legislation that comes in, mostly dealing with commerce and the entrepreneurship aspect of the country. But the three biggest is crime right now, abortion, and the economy. And most people feel the economy is ugly. Oh shit! The economy is ugly under the Democrats. But you always have that issue with the economy because America's like trillions of dollars in debt, and some say they probably would never ever pay that debt in one generation or lifetime. So however it goes, this is what's put before us. And a lot of the issues, Flight, are really cyclical. A lot of these issues that faces America during election night and the voters casting their ballots, whether mail-in ballots or whether by proxy or walking straight up on election day and voting, is cyclical because it's like a cycle that's never really broken. Every election, everybody talk about the economy. Um, in past, you heard presidents say, "Read my lips," right? No more taxes, and of course, that was a farce, and that was a one-term president. You heard presidents say, "A kinder and gentler nation," and then went to war. You know what I'm saying? Sent all American troops over to war. Then you heard presidents say um, things like "keep hope alive" or "yes I can," and all these political slogans that go along with the territory of exciting the people to continue to do everyday American things. And most what they're meaning is that you go to work, you clock in, you clock out, you behave while you're driving on the road, or you own the work and you pay your employees without complaints and pay your taxes and get your deduction, go home and do it all over again. But make sure you obey the rules on the road as you drive. So these things that comes up in election time, I done seen it, you know. I mean, I done seen from Nixon all the way to Biden. And it seemed like the same old story each and every election, that the people of that time want what you call it, a fair economy where everybody has a chance to make it as far as their talent takes them, um, civil rights, and you know, justice and crime. You're going to always in America, crime is always one of the top issues, and that's what's crazy about all the elections that I have seen come and go. And now they are barking up a tree to a whole new generation, Generation Z, that these same issues that I heard when I was a kid basically are regurgitated every 4 years, every 6 years, et cetera, et cetera. So whatever you hear, just vote your conscience, whether it's red or blue. If it fits you and the things that you love to do, vote that. Don't be a slave to a party. Be free. If the party's saying something good for you and your family, vote that party. That's basically what I can say. Just don't be a prisoner to a party. Be free. Listen to the outlines and listen to their political pundits, and then go for it. And as you see that most states basically stay the same. So you have these battleground states that flip flop every 2 years or maybe every 4 years. And that's, like I said, that's based on economy, crime, and the articulation of those issues by the leading candidates, whether they're congressmen, senators, or the super one, the president. And a lot of inflation has really been troubling some. Gas prices up, food prices up, even fast food. And we know fast food has a very small amount of nutrients, and that is up. And if you do want to eat healthy and you want to crash out on veganism or just vegetarian or just clean food that has a URK, a kosher indication. It's very expensive. So it's just that these elections are very expensive. Look, the Republicans spent 16 million in these midterms, while the Democrats spend about 5 to 6 million in these midterms. So these candidates are putting forth a lot of cash just to get in office and have a salary of merely 150 to $200,000. So you put the pieces together. I'm going to spend millions just to get into a seat that's only going to pay me between $150 to $225,000. Now, if that makes sense to you, then I'm going to sell you a bridge in Brooklyn. So this is what politics is all about. It's about circling around money and constantly moving the pendulum of power to that party. And a lot of times we get caught up in a whirlwind of that. So as these elections unfold, and if you're still out there voting, vote your conscience. Vote what's good for you and your family moving forward to secure your generational wealth. Because most of these politicians, they really don't care about you. They only cater to the bigwigs. And those bigwigs are commercial conglomerates that runs a lot of these industries because they have the cash to move and shake things up. We really don't. We only have the talent labor or the labor pool to help enhance these big mega conglomerates, commercial entities by being good employees and behaving ourselves. So that's why sometimes these elections are good. I mean, me, myself, if you're going to be a bullet in the ballot, it's best to do it at the ground roots level where you can actually feel it. Then let the ground roots candidates go to the state senate or go to the state congress, and then from there, let them go to the national level and represent you to a sitting president and his administration. But most time we tend to jump over the grassroots and start voting for governors and state senators and state congressmen, state representatives. And when you do that, a lot of times you can get overlooked based on the fact that they are state senators, not your city senator. They are state senators. So however big your state is, they represent the Senate of that state and that electoral. Same with the state representative, the congressman. He got to cover the state, so he have to appease the state. And sometimes you get overlooked if you don't put your local representative in who have access to these men of power in the Senate and in the House of Congress. So if you didn't know that then, now you know it now. So that's what I represent to you, to put in the effort to know who your local city councilman or councilwoman first, and then move from there to the county and then to the state. Because that way you're walking up the stairs properly if you want to be a part of this voting system or democracy that America puts forth.
But that'd be a problem because of the fact when you just like you said, the evilness is the politics. The politics is within the evilness is within the politics. You only can be successful in politics unless you are paid for unless you bought because you can get all those monies that's coming in on the side. So that's what you really go out to go get. It's not like you trying to your whole aim and everything else is to help your fellow man. That's not it. It's to help yourself. And if you're not playing that game in politics, you won't get wise and strong and big at it. Therein lies the problem. I'll give you another example. With the Democrats. Democrats came in. They was running everything. They had the Senate. They had everything. What stopped them? Two peoples on three, actually, they just played and voted against them and everything they tried to do. They brought the problem within themselves. So when it comes down to the midterms, just like you said, it's like they ain't got nothing with the Democrats. Ain't got nothing too much to show for. So Biden can't. I did this. I too much. I did that too much. He didn't get half the stuff done that he wanted to. That's not a problem, but that's politics. So it's going to come down now. The Republicans are going to run a bombshell in all these elections. I'm telling you, they're going to run it like it ain't nothing before, and they're going to do just like they did when Obama didn't run. The last time in 2016, they're going to usher Trump back up into this thing again. And it's going to start right back and get even worse from that day on. Back to you, Dex.
Yeah, like I said, whoever pays the piper, that's who tune he's going to play. Yeah, that's on the major level. But you have some of these smaller level. That's why I mentioned the grassroots, because that's where we make our mistake at. We try to get too big and for our britches and leap for the national candidate instead of looking for the local candidate first and learn how that works. And a lot of times we don't do it because we feel that we're already behind on the timeline, and if we do that, then that's going to put us further behind and take us out of the national um, relevancy. But I say like this: who cares if you're relevant in the national elections? Because the national elections don't recognize you. You follow what I'm saying? Or us.
Right.
So I say we should just focus on the local all the way to the governor house. After that, do that for a few years and see how far that gets us. But a lot of times we don't want to do that. We just want to feel that we're already included, in which we're not. I mean, to be honest, we're not really included in the big pie of things. So let's get to an area where we can get included on the city level. You know, I mean, when you really look at it, a lot of times Asians don't vote on the national level, and you don't never hear not one squeak about Asians not be participating in democracy, because the Asians not going to allow themselves to be used. The only people that allow themselves to be used are blacks and Hispanics. So you never hear about the Asians, and they have their own city, right? They have Koreatown, they have Chinatown, they have Little Tokyo, and that's all over America. You can see this.
Right. They don't involve themselves.
Some of them even have little Vietnamese.
They don't involve themselves with politics.
And they have their own towns, their own cities, they own little giddy up.
Right.
So the only foolish people right now, when it comes to the voting system or the democracy, is Hispanics and blacks. And Hispanics are so got their head up their butt that they really think that they're really improving. I'm talking about outside of the drugs, just the go to work Hispanic, you know what I'm saying? Come back home. Yes, they do have a system of living together and pulling their resources together. That's cool because they got Mexico, right? You know, Mexico is North America. But when it really comes to politics, they don't even include Mexico sometimes. Did you know that? Did you know that Mexico is part of the NAFTA, right? United States Free Trade Agreement.
Yeah, right.
Right? North America Free Trade Agreement.
Right.
So they're part of that. But when it comes to defense and military, they not a part of NORAD. They don't get that information. Only thing they get is, hey, we need soldiers. We need the jets. The jets that we sold you, we need you to put them in the air against this country. And if you don't want to put them in the air against the country, then use your jets to help bring supplies to our ships that's in the middle of whatever ocean where it's conflict.
Okay.
They don't, and that's and listen, and that's a slight to them, really. But hey, we're Hispanics. President Reagan allowed us when he was governor to list our race as white. Did you guys know that? And when he became president, that Hispanic vote that he said you can list yourself as white,
Yeah.
put him in office over Jimmy Carter.
Hey, that was almost about the same time when we found out that we was African American.
African American. Yeah, Jesse Jackson. Yeah. That was Jesse. See, a lot of people don't even know Jesse Jackson coined the term African American.
Yeah. That was from the niggas to niggeros. I'm sorry, Flight. Go ahead.
Well, no, I mean, I hear y'all. Y'all speaking very deep.
That's really not that deep, honestly.
I know.
You can find that in Wikipedia.
Not cutting you off, Flight. We ain't even got to religion yet, my brother.
Well, I hear you. I mean, I feel.
Hey, Flight. Matter of fact, when you came on, I didn't hear you when you came on. So what was the discussion about? We was talking.
Well, basically, the discussion tonight is we're going to go through an array of different topics. Obviously, it's election night, so I don't mind some political views, but there's a lot of political things going on in the NBA right now, that I feel like we can touch on tonight. All the people that's joining us tonight, this evening, please, let's just be mindful, of the airways, but we're going to definitely push it to the limit, but there are ways that you could speak around certain things, believe it or not. It's a lot of people. I hear a lot that when they say certain things, they use different wordings, and then we understand what you're talking about. We got to try to implement some of that with the people that may be joining us this evening. But like I said, I wanted to get to Kyrie Irving, and the situation that happened, that is transpiring. It seems to be minute by minute, update, one minute is hell on earth, the next minute they're reconciling things, getting him closer and closer to his return. He met with Adam Silver today. You have the NBA Players Association. They're appealing a lot of different things. Jaylen Brown came out and stated that they was going to appeal what was going on today on a lot of the different airways. I don't know if people were listening to Undisputed, First Take, shows like that.
Right.
I didn't watch it live. I catch the shit on YouTube. But I heard a different tune today when I was listening to Stephen A. Smith and I was listening to Mr. Shannon Sharp. I highlight those two guys individually for various reasons. But they changed their tune today, and it seemed like people are coming back to really just stating that they cool with a little issue with him going through some kind of situation, but they're not cool with all of the ramifications that are put in place. What did you think about that, Uncle Vern? Is the best way you can explain it in Kyrie Irving's point of view. What you think about the whole situation?
Well, it goes right back to doing when he said, people should study and realize and try to understand what it is the conversation about what they was pertaining to. And you understand me? It turns out to be true, Flight, and it turns out to be true to the fact that all you have to do is research it and then you'll find out it to be true for yourself. It's not hard. You just go back and research it, just like he said. People really not trying to do that work. They want to believe what it is. That goes to religion and politics too. If people want to believe what it is they want to believe, and they're comfortable with believing that. And when somebody brings something else that's different to them and they studied it, they found out to find out to be true, then they want to question that. And then you got some people like the Charles Barkleys and the Shaqs of the world that want to go along with the program because the program is getting them rich. A lot of people ain't getting rich through this program, so a lot of people are trying to find out what's happening, what's going on, what's the truth around here. So you got to find out the truth on YouTube, right? People ain't studying. People ain't doing the homework. Like, you got to do your homework, man. I'm just equal basketball players. I say, man, look here. The best basketball players in the United States, as far as I'm concerned, is Lonzo Ball, Jello, and Melo. And I did my research on them. I see that they real good, and I stand on that. But then that's me doing my research. I might find about 5,000 million other people to say the same thing. Yeah, they good.
Shout out to Basil for the $10 super chat. Good looking, my brother.
Thank you, Basil.
Shout out Basil.
Yeah, so there's the problem, Shaq. I mean, Flight, you got to do the research, man. You got to do the research, Flight. If you don't do the research, man, you'll be fooled, man.
Shaq is not slow. That's not right, twin. Shaq not slow. Shaq is very conscious. Trust me.
Well, we conscious to that money. You know, that money expect you speak. That's why you find different people that already know what's going on, but they don't want to speak about what's going on. It ain't the fact that because they offend people. They're going to offend people that got money. Just paying them.
Yeah, Shaq is just playing. He's shacking a fool himself. You know what I'm saying? Now Barkley is different. Barkley, on the other hand, could be different. You know, he's from my hometown. Well, not my hometown. My mother's in his hometown, Leeds, Alabama. He's from that area, and most of those people in that area of Birmingham have a little something right now. Leeds is a nice Leeds and Irondale is a nice area now. They you know, a lot of those was black native.
They got a messed up history as far as black people concerned, because they was in the mining towns around there, and they came up real hard in Alabama and Tennessee up in Maryland. Them peoples came.
Yeah, but not all. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. Not all, because that's misinformation. A lot of people in Alabama, it's like the area that my grandparents grew up in. They were just workers. They was hard workers, but they was hard workers for themselves. They was on treaty land, and the law enforcement of Alabama at that time didn't have no jurisdiction on that land unless they was called to settle some kind of dispute or things of that nature. So they build wonderful homes. I mean, they have really lavish homes. Some of the homes have their own graveyards. I remember when I was a kid visiting my grandparents, they had a graveyard and a gas station.
Tell them what family got all that stuff because they are natives.
Say that again?
They were natives to the land.
Yeah, that's what they're there. That's what I'm saying. That's what our mama. Every time we
off with that, it ain't like they just worked their way up and got all that.
Yeah, a lot of times that when our mom used to hear us talk, right, and we talked about slavery or whatever in the house, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, we get it from school, of course, right? And then she was like, man, don't come in here with that stuff. My people wasn't no slaves. We've been here. And I never just really understood what she said. I thought she was just embarrassed of slavery or something. You know what I mean? Until I got older, and then they start giving me the history of our lineage.
Dex,
I was like,
Dex, I don't want to cut you out, but I want to ask the conversation. I knew when I was a kid, as a child, I knew we was Blackfeet Indians. My father was Blackfeet Indians on this side, and my mama was Cherokee Indian on her side. From Mississippi, my father was black people in Mississippi, and her family's from Arkansas. And they did the same thing that they do tribal peoples. I knew that. I knew that thing, Dex.
Right. Yeah.
They told me. And the thing through my family, all my cousins, they know it too. Right.
See, the thing what happened with us is that my mom and dad had separated for a while. So when they separated, my mom moved from Alabama to California, right? And then I was born in California. Yeah. So then when my dad and mom got back together, you know what I'm saying? When they got back together, then a lot of this stuff comes out because my mother wasn't talking about it because she was moving away from it. So she was just trying to, you know, move away from that, because in California, even though California, I think have the biggest population of Native American, if I'm not mistaken, it's not Oklahoma, it's California. And I guess she thought she was just moving away from that type of stuff. So she raised us cityfied, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And to make a long story short, it's a whole lot of information that is not being disseminated properly because they didn't want us to know that we was here. You know, be honest with you, was here before the so-called Native Americans, because that part came with European and Spanish. I mean, with Spaniards or European,
Right.
and some of them mixed with us.
Right.
It wasn't like we mixed with them.
No, they mixed with us.
So I just wanted people to, even to know that, because that's why they represent those Native Americans that look more Caucasian than they represent the Native Americans that look more Africanish.
And
That's all I'm saying.
It tells you, like with the Aztecs and the Hopi Indians, it was black people that was here there before there, because them ones, when you go down to South America, you see the big old balls with the people with the big lips.
That's why I use the word so-called.
Thank you. And look like they got football helmets on. Those are black people. They came down, and they're the ones that
right. Olmec. Those are Olmec statues. Yes.
And they was there way before the natives, like you just said. And the natives were going all through South America. Come on, man, I already know that.
Yeah. So let me talk about the Kyrie situation.
Go ahead.
Now,
appreciate that, Dax.
Now the Kyrie situation, to me, according to my book of knowledge, is that Kyrie was only demonstrating that Hebrews are here, right? And that this is an aspect of history that people refuse to talk about.
Right.
But Kyrie was always on some type of encrypted journey.
Right.
And people been watching, and this was very calculated. This wasn't no accident. It was very calculated. You have a lot of Hebrew Israelites in the league. I mean, you got the Brandon Ingrams, you know what I mean? You got a few of them that's in the league. They might not be prominent players, but they're in the league, and they understand exactly what Kyrie was doing and what Kyrie was representing.
Right.
Now, what happened was, as they always do, cry victim, right?
Yeah.
Because, the Holocaust was a very grievous thing.
Right.
And some people like to rule out the situation of that, like it didn't ever happen, or it didn't happen on that scale. But we know it happens. We know some of that did happen because it's in the Third Reich's writings that these things happen. It was a massive manhunt for a lot of these war criminals of German descent, and things of that nature. And some got captured and some didn't. But
Right.
this is the hypocrisy. Hold on one second. I know everybody get anxious, but this is the hypocrisy of a lot of this, because during the World War II campaign, right? Germany versus everybody except Japan and Italy. During this war campaign, did you know that Mussolini, communist Italian leader, very fascist, went and chemically destroyed aspect of Ethiopia food house, where the land could not grow anything probably for 200 years, the type of chemicals they use.
Yeah, something like Asian.
And those people in Ethiopia, a lot of them are mixed. I mean, you got three big fractions in Ethiopia, right? You got Islam, you got Christianity, and you got Jews.
Right.
The Falasha Jew.
Right.
The oldest of all Jews, the Falasha Jew.
Okay.
And even some say the Ark of the Covenant is hidden in a mountain temple in Ethiopia and guarded by an Ethiopian. He guards until he dies. He stayed there until he died. And, then they put another one in there, another centurion up
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Hold on, Vern. Hold on, Vern. I know you're getting anxious. Just hold on. If that's the case, were there reconciliation or even reparation paid to the Ethiopians for that horrendous war criminal act? Then not only that, so even the word anti-Semitism, we already know anti means, right? Anti mean against.
Against.
And then you have Semitism. Semitism means Semite.
Yeah.
Semite means half of.
Right.
Half of what?
Well, Semite refers to Shem, the son of Noah, one of the sons of Noah.
Semite means half
Shem. They're from the
of.
lineage of Shem. Semites are from the lineage of Shem.
Let me
Ham?
finish, Bern. I knew you
Go
were
ahead,
trying to
go ahead,
anxious
go
to get
ahead.
in because I'm not going that far because I don't need to go that far to Shem. Who cares about Shem? We don't need to go that far.
Shemites. You talking about
We're not talking about Shemites. We're talking about Semites. Semi.
Go ahead.
That's what the etymology of the word Semite derived from semi. And semi means what? Half.
Okay.
So
Right.
in order for you to use Semite, which is half of what? Half of what was original. And then when miscegenation happened with original and unoriginal, black and white, you get semi. You get what you consider those people that looks like Arabs, those people that looks like the Indus Valleys. Some of those type of people are Semites. But the root of a Semite is black. So when the Al-Zakazi Jews went to war with non-Al-Zakazi Jews in 1947, they established an area called Israel. It wasn't no Israel. It was Palestine. And when you look at the Palestinian, even though some are Muslims, but guess what? Some of the Palestinians were Jews as well. So they kicked those people out through war, through weapons, and claimed the land for themselves. I'm talking about the Ashkenazi Jews, the German Jews, Polish Jews, those Jews, the Caucasian Jews. You know what I'm saying? Because they represented some form of Jewry, but not as much as those in Ethiopia or those in the Arabian Peninsula. What you call those Jews over there? I forgot the name of them. But yeah, you have a certain fraction. So they already overthrew the Falasha Jews, and even to this day, they run them out of the place they call Israel.
Right.
They don't want the black Jews over there. And these were the Jews that taught them Jewry. Or if you want to call them Hebrews or whatever you want to call them. So if we're dealing with anti-Semitism, how can Caucasian people coming from Indo-Euro even be Semite when they're Caucasian? When you look at them and then you look at real Jews, they don't look alike. So something happened, something flipped.
Yeah, something did. And we're going to have to slow down. Because
All right, there you go. Thank you,
I
Flight.
understand. Yeah, I understand that we want to get deep. We like. I know I might be the bearer of bad news, but it's guidelines that we got to follow on YouTube now. You know, but
Yeah.
if y'all want to get any deeper, y'all welcome
I
to
don't know if I
just
said
let me know.
anything wrong though,
That's
Flight.
not you. It's not you. It's just I'm setting the tone for everybody that could be coming after you. You know,
Yeah.
like I may not be on the mic all night. I can't have y'all going off the rails. You know, and
Hey,
then back and my channel is fucked over. You know, just like I said, everybody that's talking this talk is off of YouTube. Their channels are destroyed. They're gone. You know, you can't find them anymore. You know, unfortunately. So, like I said, I'm just speaking for my sake. I want to be able to come back here tomorrow. You know, I don't want to fuck up everything in a few hours. You know, I'm sorry. You know, but it is what it is. Y'all welcome to exchange numbers, and y'all could talk this shit. You know, and yeah, this shit could get real deep. Y'all could get an understanding and all that. But all jokes aside, we got to get the basketball to some capacity. You know, we could continue that in a second. You know, but like I said, there's a lot of things going on, even with Los Angeles Lakers. You know, we're gonna get back to Kyrie Irving. Obviously, that's one of the most dominant, storylines of the NBA today. You know, but there's a lot of political things going on in Los Angeles. You know, involving Mr. LeBron James. You know, Jeannie Buss, Rob Pelinka. You know, that has led the Los Angeles Lakers to obscurity. You know, so how the hell are they going to resurrect, these conditions, for the Los Angeles Lakers? You know, I'm gonna start with you, Uncle Vern. This is some real troubling shit. LeBron James clearly has lost the step. I mean, seriously. You know, I don't think that's up for any negotiation. You can no longer call this man the best player in the world. I don't want to hear it. We got to cut that bullshit out, put it to bed. He hasn't been the best player in the world for probably about 2 years now. You know, if we want to keep it 100. You
who
know,
been better than him?
you hear the media ain't even.
Who been better than him, Flight?
Who?
Yeah, oh boy.
Well, obviously, you got to go with Giannis. You know, I think you got a lot of young players that are better than LeBron James right about now. You know, I don't believe there's more players. I mean, I'm gonna be going on for days. I mean, there's a lot of players better than LeBron James right now. I mean, you can rattle off maybe about 6 or 7 names. You know,
God.
I'm just saying. I understand y'all love LeBron, but LeBron has lost the step. He is not the best player in the world anymore.
Hey, well, let's start there. Is LeBron playing tonight? Well, how is he doing?
No, he's not playing tonight. Nobody's playing tonight.
Okay, I'm sorry. All right, I apologize.
Yeah. So so back to the
But
Lakers.
saying that LeBron lost a step is not saying much because I mean the man is like 10 years older than you, Flight.
No, I understand that he lost a step, but I'm just saying I'm talking about in terms of getting the Lakers really put their pretty much their future outside of these last 2 picks, on the shoulders of Mr. LeBron James. Dare I say, outside the bubble championship, this shit been an unmitigated disaster. I mean, a failure is an understatement. This shit just fell flat on his face. The Anthony Davis trade was a mess because the New Orleans clearly won the trade. I understand they got that bubble ring that the NBA.
No, wait, Flight. Listen, Flight. You're stumbling, Flight. You're stumbling to the finish line.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm about to get political with you. Your man Adam Silver and the crew. They orchestrated, a coup and started that motherfucking bubble to give LeBron James that championship. Let's keep it 100. I guarantee you.
I don't know about that one.
The Lakers were struggling too at the start of that season. I don't think it would have went so easy the way it went for them.
I think a lot of New York Knicks is coming out of you right now because I'm gonna say this: those who got invited to that bubble had just the same chance to win as the Lakers. Who thought that the Miami Heat will beat Milwaukee, right? So you got a lot of people that surged in that bubble. I mean, TJ Warren made a name for himself. Jamal Murray made a name for himself. You had Booker, who made a name for himself because they actually went undefeated in the bubble. But their record was so porous that they didn't qualify for the play-in.
Who made the biggest name for themselves, Dex? Besides
say that again?
because they continued on with their brand and they made money. But who else made a big old money making scheme in that right there too? Black Lives Matter. That's why they went back and played again, because they didn't want to go back and play. But the NBA came to them and said, we're going to go with another idea. We're going to put on our court all the time so that you can see this. Black Lives Matter. But then the next year...
Well, they even had shirts too, though. They had shirts.
Boy, they gave them shirts too. I forgot about... Oh, Dex, well, I'll tell you, Dex, he's a goddamn genius. Back to you, Flight. You said politics, Flight.
And so, well, I just want to give Flight some pushback, because he's making it seem like everything was just generated for the Lakers. And even though I'm a Laker fan, I can't agree with that in totality, because where was Chris Paul in all this?
What you mean? Where was Chris Paul?
Yeah, you talking about they conspired.
You had the Fair Players Association.
See, you help him fly it out. See, you help him fly it out. Flight talked about the conspiracy. So I'm asking, where was Chris Paul? You brought up conspiracy.
Well, Chris Paul, in what stance? What are you talking about? The conspiracy with the Lakers?
Yeah.
I don't even think was he the president at that time?
Yeah.
Listen, let's keep it 100, man. LeBron James running the motherfucking Players Association.
No, see, there you go, Flight.
We gotta cut this bullshit out, man.
There you go, Flight. So everything, so all the bucks start with LeBron. That's what you're telling me.
Lose all of that shit in a minute. Giannis, let me tell you something. Giannis was going straight up American. He would have took LeBron's shit already. Let me tell you something. If Giannis was like LeBron, you understand? He would have took over all of this shit already. They would have gave him the reins to everything. He would have been in all the movies. He would have been in the new like Mike. It's time for a replacement. But it seemed like the NBA not really trying to put the machine behind Giannis. You know, they still got the machine behind LeBron for whatever reason. You know, the whole fucking machine gonna fall apart fucking with him. I'm telling you, he just quitting on everything. The Lakers, the league, himself. I mean, this is a bad way to go out, man. I'm telling you.
See, Flight ain't listen. Flight is spinning. You doing a lot of spinning, Flight. No, Flight, you doing a lot of spinning, homie. Nah, because listen, we can't help the New York Knicks wasn't invited to the bubble. That's not our fault. As much money that the New York Knicks generated, their record was so porous that they couldn't even get invited to the bubble to enhance the ratings.
So LeBron could get that ring. Everybody knows that.
Hey, Flight, let me ask you this question. Okay.
They should have shut that guy. Nobody wanted to play. LeBron, people did not want to play in that damn shit.
Flight, you made a statement pertaining to that. Okay, now you said Giannis is the next one coming up. Why you think Giannis is? Why don't you think they ain't gonna get to the European guy? And I know they ain't gonna get to the European guy, but why you say they ain't gonna? Well,
I mean, Giannis look like he gonna be racking up all the fucking rings. I mean, listen, Giannis look like he gonna be racking all the rings up. So I mean, I don't know.
I disagree with that. I disagree with that.
No,
I'm talking about Giannis is still relatively young. I'm talking in the next 2 to 3 years, some of your favorite players is just really gonna be gone. You know, and then Giannis could rattle off the next 3. You know.
I don't think
so. You think Giannis? Hold on, Flight. So you think Giannis has a better chance of running amok through this league than the Boston Celtics, who are younger than him?
I think they'll probably split a few, but they should win more. Yeah, they should win more. Giannis is fucking unstoppable, man. That dude is unstoppable. They're gonna have problems with Giannis, man. And Giannis
gonna be the face of the year.
That shit gonna be 7 games every time.
Like,
you know,
we understand Giannis is a force, right? We understand he's a force. Right. But when you look at a team and the heart of the team, I'm thinking Boston Celtics is the best team in the East. I don't think Milwaukee's the best team in the East. Now, when they get Middleton back, that'll be a different story. But without Middleton, I don't think they're the best team in the East. I think the Boston Celtics is the best team in the East. Matter of fact, I think even when Philly get well all the way back. Without Middleton, I think Philly has a good chance of beating Giannis in a 7-game series.
Really got a big chance. No, I don't, because I know Giannis got Philadelphia number. That go with them beating anybody else they can try to go get.
But it's always that way. Didn't Detroit have the Bulls number?
Well, look what Detroit is now. Look what the
Didn't
Bulls.
Boston have Detroit number? Didn't the Lakers under Kobe have OKC number? And Dallas?
You made me forget what it was I was going to tell Flight. Let's go. Go ahead. Stop it, Dex.
It always come a time where the grasshopper finally realize what he needs to do to get over the hump.
It took Jordan 7 years. I told you. It took Giannis 7 years. I told
But
Flight.
Jordan was fighting two monsters, though. He was fighting Boston first, and then he was fighting the damn Detroit Pistons.
7 years to win a championship. It took LeBron James how many years to win a championship, Dex?
Around 7?
Yeah, I forgot. I don't got the number on him.
Flight. Why? What did you talk about now, Flight? What did you say?
What you just said, how many years it took LeBron to win the championship?
It took them all like 7, except the Magic and the Birds and the Kareems and the Will. You know what I'm saying? It took most of the newer stars after Magic.
Can we come to a consensus? LeBron is going outside right now. Is that universally?
No, he's not going outside. Like you're embellishing. You're embellishing some wacky content right now.
Oh,
he is not going outside.
Okay.
One thing about the Lakers.
How he going out?
Okay, let me finish. Let me say it then. Since you want to rack on LeBron, the reason why the Lakers are where they are is because that team is poorly constructed. I don't know what they was thinking. We know LeBron got Russ. Okay, cool. But what about the stuff outside of Russ?
What about the younger players he got moved? It started with Anthony Davis. Oh man, could you imagine if they had Brandon Ingram right about now?
They don't need no Brandon. They don't need none of that.
Yeah, they need all of that. They need
all
of that.
No, they don't. You know why? You know why? Because that's only one ball. Well, if that's the case, you can say, well, why they get rid of Kuzma then?
They shouldn't listen. They got rid of Kuzma because he wasn't kissing LeBron ass. That's why he wasn't.
No, that's not true.
He did. They was listen. So we gonna act like they wasn't bumping heads. Pause.
That's not true.
They was definitely having some issues. Man.
That's not the reason why.
So he had issues with Ingram too. He wanted Ingram ass out. When quietly that was his best fucking hope. Hope was Brandon Ingram. I don't know why he kicked, but basically gave Ingram his ass to kiss. That was foul.
Listen, how long ago was that?
I'm here to talk for the younger players.
Like, how long ago was that? How long ago was that? How long ago was that we traded away the kids?
I remember it, but listen, that was where it all
wasn't that like 5 years ago?
Yeah, no, I don't know if it was that long, but it was.
Because 2023 will be here in a minute, so that's 5 years ago.
Listen, LeBron gave all of them his ass to kiss. Those dudes went to his house when he signed there.
Listen, I know you don't like LeBron because you like Carmelo Anthony.
No, it's not.
All you guys.
I'm speaking for.
They don't speak highly of LeBron. It's because of agenda.
Josh Hart, he gave them his ass to kiss, and them dudes loved him. They went to his house. And I mean, LeBron was moving too much.
Those not his kids.
No, and that's not his
kids.
No, I know it's not his kids.
And LeBron don't play with kids. So we already knew something was brewing.
Well, now he playing with who? Look who he playing with now. He playing with.
We understand that. We understand that. I mean, he made his bed. He got to lay in it. We understand that part. But you cannot blame him for the total construction of that roster because when you look at it, even though you got Russell. You got LeBron, you got AD. They take up the majority of the cap hit, right?
That's right.
Now, Lonnie Walker was a good addition. So whoever thought about picking up Lonnie Walker was a great addition. But everything else that Rob Pelinka went to go get to fill in the gaps, he fumbled the ball.
Didn't fall through.
Because he didn't get. No, listen, those same players. Okay, let me tell you, Dennis Schroeder, right? You got Dennis Schroeder, you got Kendrick Nunn, you got Damian Jones, Thomas Bryant, right? And you got Juan Toscano Anderson. Those are the players that filled in the gap. Neither one of those players, you can say, shoot a high percentage 3-point shot.
Nope. None of them.
And that's where the ball falls on
Palinka.
Rob Pelinka.
Right.
Now you can take Westbrook. You can take Westbrook with LeBron. That's on LeBron. We agree with that. But the other aspect of the roster, that's on Pelinka. You think LeBron out there handpicking them other dudes? Come on, man. He ain't handpicking that. It's up to Pelinka to fill the roster. These are the three that we got. Me, Russ, and AD. Okay, that's what I secured. Pelinka, you do the rest. And Pelinka somehow forgot that LeBron needs shooters. Pelinka somehow forgot that Russell Westbrook needs shooters. Outside of Lonnie Walker now. That was a good one. But them other cats, even the Troy Brown Jr., right? Yeah, he did okay with Chicago. But we can't even buy a bucket in LA.
Yeah.
So they depended on Matt Ryan and Austin Reeves to be their shooter. And we know Matt Ryan can't jump over a piece of paper. Yes, he hit that shot, but look, that shot was crazy. How many times do you think he can hit a shot like that? So when you look at that aspect of LeBron and then go outside of LeBron, that Westbrook thing don't look too bad. Because Darvin Ham found a home for Westbrook in LA. And not only did he find a home for Westbrook in LA, he got Westbrook thriving with that second unit. But what can you do with the other positions? You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you can't blame all that on LeBron. We take the Westbrook hit. Yes, we do. Westbrook was acting an asshole. And listen, I'm telling you some real good shit. His dad got in his ass. Said, son, what are you doing? You acting like a kid out there. Play basketball. Isn't that what you're here for? Play basketball. Help the Lakers win. The Lakers is his dad's favorite team. And he's over here being a petulant. Don't want to listen to nobody. Don't want to come into huddles, waving everybody off when they try to talk to him. You can't do that because now you become poison. So now his dad finally put his foot in his ass, Coach Westbrook, and said, look, son, go out there and play, man. I ain't raised you to be like this. You're already a clown in a dress, so go out there and play some basketball and get the people's minds right. And that's what Westbrook is trying to do now. He's trying to actually fit in to be the LA kid that we want him to be for the Lakers under LeBron James, not over or equal to. And sooner or later, Flight, I'm telling you, when they figure this out, because they all know how to play basketball, they just was dealing with each other's ego. And soon as they relax their ego or use an alter ego on that court to be a demolition to another team, to the opponents, the Lakers are going to be all right. I'm not saying they're going to be world beaters or they're going to win a championship, but they're going to be much better than a 2-18. I can tell you that much.
Hey, you know what? I came to the conclusion that's why here Russell Westbrook is falling off. When he was with KD and then just him and KD and what we didn't have when Harden was gone, him and KD, they got down. You know, they won some games and stuff like that. But it's like he really don't have that kind. He don't have that kind of killer instinct like that no more. He just get mad and just go off for a second and then just try to roll back on Westbrook again. But he ain't got that kind of killer instinct like he had before. That's the only thing that's different in this game. He ain't got that MVP kind of, mentality. He might have it in the spring and jumping and everything else and all that. But he don't have that kind of mentality like that. And
but he's not that young. He's not that young like that. Westbrook ain't no spring chicken.
Yeah. Well,
them legs been around a minute. Jumping, running.
He's still athletic now. I ain't just saying, you know what I'm saying? He might have lost an inch or two as far as reaching for the stars. I'm just saying. He still got it, but he just don't bring it like that. He had an attitude where he bring it. He ain't got that kind of attitude no more. You understand? It's like
he was fighting. Listen, Russell was fighting his own inner demons,
right?
As being a Chiefian for a team in the NBA. I mean, he did something nobody else has ever done. I mean, just think about it. Just think about it, Vern. You do something that nobody in this world has ever done, and then people act like you ain't did shit.
What'd he do?
He averaged a triple double for like 3 seasons.
Oh yeah, okay, right. Ask Oscar Robinson what all that means.
Well, it meant a lot for until he broke that record, and then he broke it again. Then he broke it again. So it's like, damn. I guess it's not that difficult. But as we look now, when Russell's not doing it, there's nobody even close to average it.
Jack, can I ask you a question, please? While you still running, well, I still got it on my mind anyway. I'm sorry. Do that add up to winning? Because I know the last time I checked, Will Chamberlain was winning a whole. Wilt Chamberlain was doing breaking a whole lot of records, but he wasn't winning a whole lot of championships, Dex. Until he went to LA. Let me stop there.
But regardless, see, you trying to downplay history, dude. You can't downplay something that nobody else has ever done.
All that add to winning.
So what are you talking about, man? You sound crazy.
Even Westbrook at his greatest didn't add up to winning.
Sometimes it's about team, sometimes it's about championship, and then sometimes it's about individual accolades. That is an individual accolade that probably won't be broken in probably another 30 years.
There you go. Boy, I'll tell you that. There lies the problem, because that's what I asked you at first. Go ask what's his name that used to play for the Bucks.
But he's a champion, though. You can't use Oscar Robertson because he's a champion.
Of course. But that triple-double thing, that's what I'm talking about. How more important that is to a championship, Dex?
Vern, now you're being insolent because only one team is going to win a championship
I
per season.
Back. Let's realize this, too. When Oscar Robinson was getting all those, they ain't going to Westbrook. We're going to stay on Oscar Robinson for a minute, if I remember right, because I've been watching a lot of them games, too. He was getting a lot of them triple-doubles and stuff with a losing team. He started winning to now Lou Alcindor came to Wisconsin, and he didn't come long. You understand me? And then he won a championship for all those years. And I think Oscar Robinson only won one championship.
Yeah, he only won one. It doesn't matter. See, now you want to downplay the championship.
They was getting all those.
Uncle Vern, you on a seesaw right now.
One championship.
Uncle Vern, you on a seesaw right now. Is it going to be the championship or the individual accolade? Because winning a championship in a career is big. Because some people go throughout a whole career and don't win anything, and some don't even come close to winning. So you can't belittle his one championship by saying he only won one. Some ain't won none. Ask Karl Malone and Charles Barkley. Shit.
Yeah, that's true too. But they all can always fall back on what? Their individual accolades, which is what
and that's what Russell, and that's what gives us full circle, bring us back full circle. That's what Russell Westbrook is saying. I have an individual accolade that probably won't be broken for 50 years, averaging a triple-double in 3 consecutive seasons, because most of the guards that come into the league now, and now even the big guys, they just want to score. They ain't trying to get down there and rebound and all that. They're not even really trying to pass the ball that often. They're only passing out of double teams.
Hey, look here. Look. We already know when Russell Westbrook get rebounds, he ain't sit up there trying to pass it off to the guy on the side. You know why he do? He get the rebounds right. You ain't got.
So the game is, right. But Vern, the game has changed so significantly that's not even a badge of honor anymore to get an assist. It's not even a badge of honor anymore to lead the league in rebounds. That they say that's for the suckers. These kids come in here want to score and score often.
You ain't gonna have no problem getting assists if you got Durant on your team.
But he did that without Durant. Don't forget that. And since I wasn't going to bring up Durant, but since you brought up Durant, you done open up a whole new gate. You done open up a can of worms. And let's segue to Kevin Durant.
Okay.
Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook was up 3-1 on Golden State, lost. Do you think if they would have ran that back, they could have beat Golden State that next year and won their own championship? Because nobody wasn't going to beat that team.
Yeah, well, if I think they'd ran, but what, with Golden State, when they had Durant, when Durant left?
Yeah, when Durant left. Because they ended up playing Houston. Remember, when Durant left,
Right.
the Golden State Warriors ended up playing Houston, and it was the same way. James Harden was up 3-1, and Golden State Warriors came back to win that series.
Right.
So do you think if Kevin Durant wasn't on that Golden State team and was back with Russ on that Oklahoma City team, Houston wouldn't have been there, but OKC would have been there, and they was already up 3-1 prior
Okay,
to that
couldn't
season.
get past Golden State. They could never get past Golden State.
That's my point now. But being
Right.
up 3-1, they will have all the confidence in the world and feeling that they can beat that team, especially looking at the film to see how they lost 3 games in a row. Remember now, they had Serge Ibaka, they had what's that boy name? No, they had Adams, right? They had Adams.
Yeah, Adams.
They had Adams and the other boy. They had the other center. What was his name? Keenan Cantor, right? They had Cantor. What's
Yeah,
the Cantor?
Yeah.
And they were switching off and on. But that team could have beat the Golden State Warriors if Kevin Durant would have stayed, but instead he left. So will Russell have, hypothetically speaking, a championship if Kevin Durant would have stayed?
No. But no, what
No,
did
what do
he
you mean,
try-
no?
What did he wait, Jack. Okay, before you go any further, he didn't get no championship, he get no went close to it. But what he do? He got that scoring record though. He got that Russell record though. He got all those
No, he got an
records with Durant.
MVP. He never got a scoring
Well,
record.
okay,
I think
well,
he
he
got
got the
MVP.
MVP after Durant left, right?
Yeah, but that
That's not
team,
even the point. I asked a silly question because I know he didn't get it when he was with Durant, so it had
right?
to be after
Yeah,
Durant
I'm
left.
glad you checked yourself on that one. Good, you're an honest
Jimmy, I
man.
just checked you.
You couldn't have checked me because you the one brought up that silly shit that he did it with Durant.
Man, look, I'm telling you, it's an individual
Oh,
award.
you're
What he
tripping,
got.
bro.
Even based on his getting those, getting the MVP was to a certain
But
extent.
Uncle Vern, just think about this: if Kevin Durant doesn't leave, and Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant run that team back,
They win a championship.
they
Right.
might win a championship.
Right.
They could beat Cleveland.
Hey, Jax, let me ask you this. Look, when Durant got his MVP, he thanked his mother and everybody else. Who you think Russell Westbrook had thanked when he got that MVP?
I have no idea because I
I
wasn't.
think he thanked himself first, because I think he worked real hard to get it. I don't
Uncle
think.
Vern, no,
Well,
he
Snoop Dogg did the same thing, right? When Snoop Dogg got his Hollywood Walk of Fame, he said, "I would like to thank myself."
Hey, boy,
Dex,
I tell you.
is he serious?
Hey, boy,
Dex, why you let Uncle Vern
I
talk
like
like
it,
this?
didn't he? Hey, dog.
Dex,
I
is he
like
serious?
it. Yeah, I'm telling you, Jack.
But just think about that, Vern. When everybody knocked Russell Westbrook, just think about how his trajectory as a part of the Oklahoma City Thunder changed immediately when Kevin Durant left. Just think about that. That's the only thing I'm saying. Because people want to knock Russell, but he was on a trajectory of probably getting to and even winning a championship.
No,
Because
his projector was going down.
no. I'm saying with Durant, bro.
When he
Keep
left,
that in mind.
when Durant left, you said when Durant left.
No, I said if Durant didn't leave, he stayed and ran it back.
Did he the guy that on the side? He could get it with Durant and Harden, but you just said if him and Durant would have got it, they'd have got it.
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
think
Listen,
so.
see, now you're being obstinate because
because Westbrook don't have that IQ.
No, Vern, they had Golden State 3-1
Okay.
and lost. And the next year, Kevin Durant boned out.
Why? I asked myself why, and I figured out the answer. Why do you think he bowled out?
because he felt it probably in his mind. I'm only conjecturing. I
Yeah,
don't
go
have
ahead.
no,
You've been
I'm
doing
only
it all this
speculating.
time. Keep going.
He thought that he couldn't win with Russ.
My point exactly. He know his game don't add up to winning, and that's what I said. Point, you out of here.
But you don't know if they would have figured it out though.
What?
Hey, Dex, I have a question, Dex. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I
I have
hear
a,
you.
I have a question, Uncle Vern. You see, Dex, I like how I love how Dex is trying to see Uncle Vern. You're suffering from what we like to call what my favorite word from Dex now, cognitive dissonance.
Oh my God.
Because
Yeah, I like that
you,
word. Go ahead.
oh yeah, cognitive dissonance.
Yeah,
You
I mean, you
stole it. You
know
stole it.
something. You
Hey,
recognize.
hey, hey, listen, it's not stealing, fight. It's called paying the homage. It's a word. I can pay homage to a word. Thank you. Now, let me tell you why, Uncle Vern. Your story don't make no sense.
Okay, go ahead.
Number one, Russell Westbrook at that point was playing the best basketball,
No, he was
regardless of what
playing
you want to
selfish
say.
basketball,
Uh,
and he
uh,
can't play that with LA because it won't
uh,
work because they can't. He ain't that type of leader. Go ahead, idiot.
Unc, you're calling me the idiot, but the facts show other ways. The facts is the matter is he won an MVP, Unc, by playing the basketball. You have to understand, Westbrook has been playing this way his entire career. Now, you can say what you want to say about that.
And he
Unc,
did that,
Unc, you can
and he
say what you
didn't
want to say
win,
about that, but
and he
Unc,
didn't
he had
win.
3 games up. He had 3 games up against the Warriors, who had the best record in the Western Conference that year. I'm saying, Unc, and let's not forget, let's just be real. Let's be real here. It wasn't just Westbrook playing bad, it was the superstar and KD playing bad as well. You
Oh,
can't blame, you cannot give Russ, if you want to nitpick Russ's game, you also got to nitpick KD's game because KD wasn't doing the things he had to do to step up also as being another superstar.
oh, but he left and won a championship.
And what has he done since leaving Stephen Curry?
Whoa, 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 whoa. Let's address that right there because he left when he left
Right.
that year, and he went to the other team the next
He
year.
won a
He won a
championship.
championship. And matter of fact, he was the best player. He got an MVP too, didn't he?
Right. But
No,
guess what
not
though?
only that,
Guess
not
what though?
only that.
Guess what though? Kevin Durant went to a system where Kevin Durant can play Kevin Durant's game and don't have to worry about having to do more than what he has to do.
Russell Westbrook
But
can't say
Kevin
that.
Durant, listen, hold
Russell
on one second.
Westbrook
Hold on
can't.
one second.
Russell
Kevin
Westbrook
Durant
can't do
is
that.
so good, Uncle Vern and Marquez, that he is a supremely elite plug and play player.
We're not. That's not.
Okay.
We understand that though, Dex.
Yeah.
That's what made it so easy. So what happened was, if Kevin Durant could have manned up and actually try to talk to Russ like, Russ, the only way
Uh,
we're gonna win, man, we can't go out, backwards. We gotta, like, you can't be taking these last second shots when you don't even have a jumper. Your jumper broke, Russ.
I mean, I was watching Durant when he was out there at Texas, University of Texas. I never knew anything about him being getting licensed in child psychology.
what? What are you
No, I know
talking
what you're
about?
saying. No, listen,
Yeah, he know what I'm
Vern. The
saying.
thing of it is this. No, the thing of it is this, Vern. When you have that much uh sachet within the organization, he shouldn't be afraid to talk to Russ. That's all I'm saying. Because he
That
was
make
there before Russ.
Hey, you ever heard of
thank you.
LeBron James? Last time I checked, LeBron James been the guy for the last face of the NBA for the last 20 years, dang near. I mean, if he can't talk to her, what KD look like talking
No,
to
that's a difference, though, because LeBron James is not an LA native. So that's a whole different scenario. That's some
KD
geographical
ain't no
politics.
LA native neither.
Who?
I said KD is not a
No,
LA
I'm,
native.
I'm talking about with the Lakers. You say he can't talk to Russ, but I'm saying because Russ feel at home. Like this is my hood, this is my city. So I already know what Russ is thinking. He's a knucklehead. Russell's a knucklehead. But what I'm saying is that Russell came to OKC after Kevin Durant. So he walked into a Kevin Durant's
But
team.
Seattle, Kevin Durant was playing in Seattle. OKC.
Yes.
I understand that.
Right. Russell was an OKC draftee, not a Seattle draftee.
What's your
So
point?
Damn, you didn't hear what I just said?
No. Hey, heard that you said.
Okay, let me say it again then. Damn.
I mean, I
Clean out the
understand
wax in your ears, Vern. Clean out the wax in your ears, bro. I'm saying that Kevin Durant was drafted with Seattle, right?
What difference do that make?
Because he was drafted as the face of the franchise. So when they moved to Oklahoma, Russ got drafted to that team. But Kevin Durant was already there. But there must not have been a discussion between the two on how they want to play basketball together. It's like once the game is over, he went his way, Russ went his way.
No. Let me stop you there, Dex. Because remember when Russell always, him and KD was always going off in the beaches and stuff and running in the sand and they were doing everything together. They were like little brother and big brother.
That was posturing, man. That was posturing.
Talking when I'm talking.
Right.
You just don't want to realize what I'm saying.
Because if he loved him that much, he would have stayed.
Flight, drop the link. Flight, drop the link.
Because what you just said is bogus. And every time I say something, you think it's bogus, but it ain't bogus. It's the truth. They was running around like brothers.
It's hyperbole.
Okay. Let me tell you how that works, Uncle Vern.
Okay, then. The
Now,
first
you can
year,
explain it 3 times.
Uncle Vern, hold on. Do you remember Paul George?
Yeah.
You remember Paul George on the Oklahoma City Thunder?
Yes, and he did right with the yeah.
Him and Russ out there fishing and doing all kind of Oklahoma City type stuff.
George left.
And he left.
What are you talking about, Uncle Vern?
Soon as Paul George had an out, he was out.
I know it.
After pledging in front of all those people
that he wouldn't go.
He ain't going back.
I know it.
So what are you saying?
Dex, why are you repeating yourself?
So Uncle Vern, what are you saying?
Dex, why are you repeating yourself? Why are you repeating yourself?
Because Uncle Vern, in his mind, that shit was wise as hell.
That was the dumbest shit I heard all night.
Yeah, like I said,
so damn stupid.
KD,
oh my God.
Dex,
he called us the idiots.
Dex, you asked me a question and you make it seem like I'm not answering it, but still you don't want to hear it. It's just like I've been saying.
You're answering the same question.
Okay, yeah, well, thank you. Look, Paul George came to the conclusion he's not going to win with
Max said it was Melo's fault. you gonna get Flight riled up talking it was Melo's fault.
Should I hang up and let you talk because I'm trying to?
I'm listening.
No, I'm just answering the chat real quick. That's all.
Hey, Dex, I'm trying to have a conversation with you, man, because they never have to myself on this talk.
Listen,
I don't want to do that, Dex, please.
No, you need to go back and check what you said about Durant leaving.
With all
that exercising on the beach and all that other type of stuff.
Left the same reason. What's his name left after Russell Westbrook spent the night with him and everything.
Shout out to AB.
Said, look,
shout out AB the hero.
Don't know where is you. And then when what's the name that's out there with the Clippers now had a chance to think about it.
Oh, George.
I'm getting up out of here. It ain't gonna win. It ain't gonna work with dude. That's what I've been telling you all.
Or maybe,
no, Uncle Vern, you're switching it. That wasn't the premise, Uncle Vern. The premise, Uncle Vern. The premise was when I said they went separate directions once the game was over, you tried to check me by saying, "Oh, they out on the beach running and jogging." I said, "Oh, really?" And that's when I inserted Paul George. Him and Paul George is out fishing with Fisher hats on.
I said, "Yeah, you talking?" I said, "With KD." You said, "I said, listen to it." I said, "With Russell Westbrook."
Why? Don't it seem like he's answering his own questions?
You talking? You stop me.
He's answering his own questions.
Oh shit, Uncle Vern getting ready to go on one. Let me get ready, Flight.
Listen to me. Listen.
How many times we gotta give you time to answer the same question? You answered that question 3 different ways, and Dex is giving you that answer 3 different ways.
What's the problem?
I don't get it. Oh, get it, what? Right. He gave him three different answers about how Russell Westbrook ain't that guy, right?
Right.
And then just gave him three different answers about how Westbrook was that guy. I'm confused here.
I don't
I'm
know, man.
Uncle
confused.
Vern, you calm down. Big Unc, you calm?
Shit, he left. Coffee said Kyrie is absolutely awesome, haven't did anything wrong. Any dumb fuck that don't understand him should die, period.
Jesus,
Oh my
Coffee.
God, Coffee
It,
going on.
that man, you welcome, man, Coffee gonna unleash the cannon. But I mean, you welcome to state your piece tonight. You know, it's
Yo,
Okay.
election night.
Now, I did want to touch on Kyrie, like I was saying, is that
Go ahead, Dax. We got a great
yeah,
audience here for you.
because see the thing of it is with Kyrie, right? We know that Kyrie sometimes could be flim flam, right? And we know he can jump on the leaf and just wherever the wind blow, he going in that direction. But Kyrie is a free thinker and he is a searcher and he wants to fill his mind with things that relates to his reality. So when he came across this documentary or book, Hebrew to Negroes, that
wow.
sparked his interest. And so when he started to read it, he started to say, wait, some of this stuff is probably still happening today. So let me put people up on this because it busts some atoms in my brain. And when he
Oh,
put it out there, and let me say this also. These people that's against Kyrie, I'm talking about the upper echelon, not these little peons that just want to, take
Yeah.
crumbs off the rich
There you
man
go,
table.
Dax.
dang yo, Dex, talk that trash.
These people up on the upper echelon of finance and making world decisions, they don't just own nice cars. They don't just own fancy houses. They don't just own certain politicians. These people own countries. And when you're dealing with the likes of people who own countries, they don't like rebel rousers in any form because they plan out futures for these countries to shape the world in a way where they can still be power brokers for 50 to 100 years out. We can barely plan 2 weeks out, not alone a year. And if we're doing a little good for ourselves, we might can plan out 5 years out. But as you can see, with the advent of Kanye West being rejected over 100 and something million odd dollars into Chase Bank, that tells you a lot about how much money these people are working with. Where $150 million just look like $2. We don't want your money. Get your money. You got 30 days. Come get this shit. We ain't dealing with you.
You
Where you
think
gonna put $150 million at? Think
True.
about it. How many banks can even hold that he can trust? Because you just can't put it in any bank. They better have the insurance to cover it. When you got the Merrill Lynches of the world, when you got those mega mortgages of the world, financial institutions, they all link together. And when they link together, one person say, we don't like this guy. This guy is spewing this. He's going to disrupt things. And it was like, wow, we didn't really know that about Mr. Kanye. Because they probably never met him in his life because all they do is handle his money. And now they kicked him out of their boys club, right? Kyrie Irving is part of a boys club. It's called the NBA. They want to attempt to kick him out of their boys club or break him down, what they call buck breaking, to the point where you can be a little conscious, but don't have your little raggedy ass out there being too conscious, because we'll take all this from you. And then not only that, we'll come up with some type of scam or scandal that will break you.
Yeah, you got me laughing in the background, Dex. What you said. No, that's dead ass true. What you said. The upper echelon don't fuck around, man. I like that one.
They'll come up with they'll come up yeah, they'll come up with a scandal, some type of scandal, right? And then not only will they come with some type of scandal, they're gonna have you believing it, because they got a lot of crisis actors out there that's ready.
Definitely.
Hey, we need a favor from you, Becky.
That is wild.
Yeah, that's crazy that you brought up the crisis actors. That's some real shit, though. We gotta introduce my man, a legend in the building. My man been doing this a long time, man. We gotta pay heavy homage. Triple B's done walked in the door, ladies and gentlemen. The Godfather, the icon, the man that was running around with the JBA. Y'all better pay the utmost. It's Flight Sports. AB the hero. What's the deal? It's Flight Sports. We live.
What's up? What's up, man? Y'all having some great conversation tonight, man. I wanted to tap in.
Please do,
good, man. Y'all cooking.
Yeah, well, what's some of your thoughts on some of this shit that's going on? Because it's getting political.
Yeah, I'm interested to hear this conversation that Nick Cannon just put out that he was having with the folks over at the ADL. Because I think whatever. I agree with what a lot of Dex was saying. Like, what's happening right now is, to me, it's a message. It's a message to all y'all. If you get out of line, we don't care. 140 million, 150, like, it ain't enough. We don't need it that bad. And I think that with Kyrie Irving's situation, he didn't even say anything. He tweeted about something, and the tweet didn't get him suspended. What got him suspended is not what he said, but is what he wouldn't say. And I think that once we get to a place where they can get you up out of here because you won't say what they want you to say, then that's an ultimate flex of power. When they start talking about public lynchings, bug breaking, and all of that stuff, I think that is on display. And it's so sad because that population is so triggered by some of these notions that are in this documentary, but they don't even realize that what they're doing is triggering a whole nother demographic in a way where a lot of people listen to what Kyrie Irving was saying and they don't agree with it. They dismiss a lot of it. Flat Earth, the stuff he had going in Brooklyn, like the media narrative around him is not the best. But when we see how you treat somebody who the media already don't mess with, and we see that you can't even give him an opportunity to process a thought or treat him like a human being with conversation, I think that it triggers the public in a way that forces us to then have these conversations about groups that we would never really even be talking about. Like on a day-to-day basis, I don't find myself thinking about anti-Semitism and all of these other things, but now it's a conversation that we gotta have because what we're watching them do to one of our, bright lights and icons in the game of basketball, Kyrie Irving. So it's sad, but it is.
I want to follow that up. Well, before you came in, I was watching some of the shows earlier today, the Stephen A. Smiths of the world. And I heard some of the Shannon Sharps. Did you notice a change in a tune or the word play that was being used? Didn't it seem like they trying to come along, like they got his side now? What do you think?
Facts.
I missed some of the stuff from the day. They said today. Could you catch me up on today's stuff?
Oh, well, I caught some of the replays, but Shannon Sharp and Stephen A. seemed like they was echoing each other. They both was just basically saying that, okay, penalize him or whatever, but they didn't agree with the steps and the rules, especially the last part of the list of he got to go and speak to Joe Tsai, who he's not in the upper echelon, and they said that he would have to he would have to demonstrate understanding. I ain't gonna front, that shit was funny. I mean, I guess that's what speaks to what you speak to the breaking and the things of that nature. I guess that last part was a little nasty when you really, put all the jokes aside. That is a little upsetting, but they came out and they voiced their frustration and they stated they don't agree with that and they damn near ready to go to bat now. So I don't know how this taking a shocking turn of events.
And that's what I'm saying is I think that most people, so those guys right there had already said, yo, Kyrie be doing too much. But when you take it that far, folks start to realize that it's not actually about what we arguing about. You know what I'm saying? It's the thing where you be in a relationship with a girl and y'all be arguing, y'all damn near about to break up over the dishes. And you realize that it ain't the dishes, it's the other nigga. You know what I'm saying? And so this is what's happening with Kyrie Irving. It's not about no tweet. That's the most ridiculous stuff in the world. If you imagine how upset and sad you could be over a tweet for a movie that's 3 hours long, that's $50 to watch, and you ain't gonna pay the movie, you ain't gonna spend the time to watch it or pay the money to watch it, but you sad and depressed. However, you activate a set of circumstances that remove millions of dollars from somebody. You know what kind of state of depression that you're trying to send somebody into when you're taking their whole livelihood from them? And you think about the state of Kanye West. That type of stuff is what causes people to take themselves out of here. When you take somebody's whole livelihood, that's what you're trying to do.
But AB, listen, let me share this also, is that how can you blame Kyrie for something he didn't write, he didn't produce, nor did he put any of his money behind it, as far as we know of. But that same book and documentary is being disseminated through an entity that we believe Jeff Bezos created. So is he anti-Semitic by allowing such material to come through his entity and be spreaded all over for human consumption?
Facts.
And when it comes down to being said is disinformation, that information is out there. All the Kyrie says, just go out there, go look at it for yourself. A lot of people don't, like I said before, many times in my lifetime, a lot of people don't want to hear that, nor see it, or believe it. But if it's true, it's true.
Yeah. I just think it's funny. I really think it's funny how, if y'all can hear me, but I just think it's funny. It's funny how if Kyrie Irving, it's funny because somebody had made a comment today, recently. Matter of fact, I think it was actually a couple hours ago. I'm not sure, but I want to make sure. A former teammate of Kyrie Irving's, and I quote, said how Kyrie Irving's comments were indeed hateful and how they bring a lot of baggage to the league. B. Morale, can you hear me? Uncle Vern, can you hear me?
Yeah, I want to know what
comments did he make?
It is funny because the same person
that was hateful.
Right. But also, Uncle Vern, that's not the issue here, Uncle Vern. It's the person addressing the comment. The person who addressed this comment had a statement or actually had a disagreement amongst other fans 3 years ago. And do you know who that person was, Beaver Morale? We're talking about LeBron James.
Wow.
This is the same person who had an issue with China and Hong Kong at the time, who was okay with the China deal, but wasn't okay with the free speech.
No, you're on a very bad tangent right now.
No, I'm not, Dex. That's the difference. We're going to have the conversation. Let's have the conversation.
That is not related to what we're talking about.
Oh, it's not? I can't make
because the reason why is not. Point. Hold on. You can't make a point. You can't. How are you going to make a point? When you bringing up LeBron James in China, and you bringing up, and it wasn't LeBron James, first of all, It was the Daryl Morley
Thank you.
from the Houston Rockets.
I
It
was
wasn't
going to
LeBron
get to my
James.
point. Y'all have allowed to speak. Why am I allowed to speak?
Because you're off base, bro.
It's not off base. If
You
you let
didn't
me finish
mention
my
Daryl
point,
Morley not one
you didn't let
time.
me
What are you
finish
talking
the
about?
point. How can I finish a point if you're going to cut me off?
Because you didn't mention Daryl Morley not one time. That should have been
For
the first
sure.
name you mentioned because that's where the controversy was.
For sure.
Was what he said, not what LeBron did or was
For
silent
sure.
to.
Morale, you notice this, right? Are you starting to notice the certain signs? We can't mention certain people, but God, okay.
What do you mean? What are you talking
No,
about,
don't worry
man?
about it, Dex. Don't worry about it, Dex. I'm gonna leave it alone, Dex. I want to. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
that's
leave
probably
it
the
alone,
best
Dex.
thing because you
I'm
becoming
gonna
a
leave it
dud.
alone, Dex. If I get speaking opinions, I'm gonna leave it alone.
Listen, that China incident flight was something that Daryl Morley stirred up. LeBron didn't stir that up. What happened
I'm
was when they
saying
put a microphone in
that's not.
LeBron's face, he basically ignored that China situation because of the relationship between China, NBA, and his shoes and everything else. That's it. It wasn't nothing that he started.
No,
But that's what he's saying though, is that he definitely could have did the same thing with the Kyrie situation, but he made a point to disassociate a bit from Kyrie. He made a
thank
point
you,
to
AB.
say what Kyrie got going on ain't right. I do this. I respect and love everybody, such and such and such and such. And it's easy to do that, like you said, when you don't have business or you don't have
Of
XYZ.
course.
So that I feel like that's the point he might be trying to make a
I
little
was
bit.
trying to get to that AB, but he didn't let me
I doubt
finish.
it. I doubt it. AB just gave you a lifeline because
Oh,
you
gave
didn't
me a
mention
lifeline. You
Daryl
didn't let me
because
finish.
you didn't mention Daryl Morley not one time, and he was the
But
culprit of
Daryl
that.
Morey's not a part of the issue. Daryl Morey has started the conversation, but I'm talking about LeBron, who's been in that situation and turned his back when Daryl Morey was doing that situation. He turned his back on Kyrie with this situation. But you didn't want to let me make my point, but it's all right, Dex.
Okay, well, no, can I
He
Yeah,
didn't
it's all
turn
right.
his back on Daryl
It's all
Morley.
right.
He criticized Daryl Morley.
Okay,
He didn't
He
criticize
definitely turned
China.
his back on Kyrie Irving. That's a fact. And
hey,
if you don't think he turned his back, all right.
hey, okay, no, look, wait,
All right.
wait. Do you understand what Kyrie Irving is talking about? Do you understand really too what Kyrie Irving is
That's
saying?
not the argument. Is not about what Kyrie posted. The argument is about having.
Second of
All
all,
right.
there you go, you talk.
I understand the whole scenario, but he came at it
I
very
wasn't talking.
wrongly.
But it's
His
an
angle.
opinion, though. I didn't finish.
If
I went
you
on
never
tangents and
mentioned
talk,
Daryl
but
Morley,
it's all
how
right.
could you finish? Because
All right, for sure.
because you
Uncle Vern can speak nonsense for 20
because
minutes.
you
But I
you
can.
ignored.
All right.
Maybe you didn't know. That's what I'm taking. I'm taking it as you didn't know. That's why
No,
I'm
You
telling
didn't
you.
let me
Daryl
finish.
Morley was a culprit,
You gotta
not
let me
LeBron.
land, bro. You
But
gotta let
I
me
can tell you
land.
this. I can tell you this though. I can tell you this. 1 second. I can tell you this. What about LeBron? LeBron probably owes the NBA a favor because it was LeBron who spearheaded the removal of the owner of the Clippers back in the day, Donald Sterling. Remember, LeBron spearheaded that along with Chris Paul.
Right.
the NBA did
So,
that.
so
LeBron just rolled along. The NBA did that.
you need to go back and look and check the history on that. LeBron was adamant about that dude being removed, talking about he wouldn't play in that stadium.
First of all, Donald Sterling had no problem with doing that with the Clippers coach out there anyway, because he was tired of his attitude. He was the Clippers owner because he was tired of his attitude.
You guys' business history is just terrible.
I mean, how can we be? All right.
I bet he had too many problems with them. NBA had a problem with them. So anyway, the NBA leaned on the NBA players, Black Association players, to sit up there and allow that to go on.
LeBron spearheaded that.
Okay, I give you this.
Remember,
right
LeBron said, "How can he do that to Magic? Magic is an icon and all this old stuff."
I give you this right here. It's another example of that situation. Jaylen Brown for the Boston.
Oh man.
Jaylen Brown for the Boston Celtics is right now saying that he ain't happy with that Kyrie situation. Let's see how far that's gonna go.
Really?
And moves what's the name? Not Sterling, but the new one they got now. and move him to change it about those conditions.
Adam Silver?
Yes, thank you. The conditions that he got Kyrie to come back in.
See, I don't think it's funny how.
Because look here, Jax, they want
All
Kyrie to read, they want Kyrie to take not to take back what
Thank you, MJC.
sorry. Let's see if they gonna change their direction as far as the
I mean,
Jaylen Brown them concerned.
I was inundated with all of the media surrounding Donald Sterling. Now we already knew Donald Sterling was a sleazeball because Donald Sterling was a rich realtor that had a lot of property on in the Wilshire district, and he wouldn't give it to black people. I don't care if you have money, and you got to have money to live on the Wilshire district where he had his property. Down over by the Westwood area in West LA. Yeah. And he wouldn't rent to black people. He rent to Asians.
The apple don't fall far from the tree. Go ahead.
Right. So this is my point. And Donald Sterling is Jewish. So my point is this right here. If Adam Silver helped spearheaded by LeBron James' influence, got Donald Sterling to sell his team, which he sold it for way more than it was worth. You know what I'm saying? When he bought it. So he made a huge profit, right? For saying hurtful things and being racial and having racial remarks towards Magic Johnson and other unnamed black athletes that was probably plugging old girl.
I'm just waiting.
Wait, what are y'all talking about?
I was just never mind.
Can I finish?
I thought it was the cut. Go ahead, Dex.
Hey, Dex,
if Adam Silver, listen, we don't want to deal with ignorance right now. If Adam Silver, who is Jewish, going against his Jewish brother in the Jewish club, which is the NBA, got him kicked out, got him removed, and made him sell the team, right?
Yeah.
For the things he said that was racially hateful.
Right.
And especially to an icon like Magic Johnson.
Right.
Right? And with LeBron spearheading from the players aspect, talking about he wouldn't play in that gym, and he told Chris Paul and them, don't even play. Turn your jerseys inside out or something. Something LeBron was trying to start up with Chris Paul, right? And Doc Rivers was on the hot seat as well of will they play or will they not play? And their team took a vote, and they took the floor. But if he did that against him, and now Kyrie makes this so-called, listen to what I'm saying, so-called anti-Semitic demonstration, then it behooves, according to them, it behooves those same players that was adamant about the removal of Donald Sterling should be adamant about Kyrie and his actions. That's how they're looking at this, first of all. And so LeBron making that statement, Kyrie did something hurtful to some people. That was LeBron. You know you owe us one.
Hey,
bro, here's the problem with that though is
a lot of people mad, Jax.
When you talked about the Clippers owner, they talked about his whole history. Like nobody was shocked to find out that he was racist because they knew he'd been racist, and nobody did nothing. You got a tweet from Kyrie, and everybody know that he not really like that. He not. And they got him out here. And that, to me, just shows the imbalance of what's happening in this situation. Is this I just forgot his name already. What's the owner name?
Donald Sterling.
Sterling got an opportunity. Yeah, former owner. If he got an years of opportunity, a history, he made his money. The money he probably used to buy the team was through practices that most people would deem to be unjust, and they still let him pick up a team. They let him own a history of players and everybody reporting all types of stuff. And then you get one tweet from Kyrie Irving and he up out of here. To me, that shows you the imbalance of how they deal with these situations. I keep hearing people talk about Kyrie and his thing. It's like, it's the consequences, but the consequences have to fit the crime. And if he did something wrong
Yes,
with the
sir,
tweet
Mac.
and there was some bad stuff in there, and he was supposed to have to deal with some type of consequences, what they doing to him is way too far. That's like you jaywalk and they put you on death row.
Hey,
And also this right here.
Hey, what? Can I wait, Jack? Please, can I say this?
I don't want to forget this point because AB was.
Come on.
Hey, I'm disappointed too.
Vern, you gotta let people speak.
AB,
Go, Jack.
please. Wait, the devil gonna stop me. But AB, it goes along. AB, it goes along with this
Hey,
too.
come on.
It goes right back to this what you were just saying. He's calling himself to be something that those peoples are, and that's an insult.
And also, Vern.
Okay, that's all I gotta say. AB, I swear to God, I swear before my Lord.
No, Vern, no, you included in this conversation because you lived through the civil rights movement. What the hell?
Hey, Dex, look here, I lived through a lot of things. That's just one of them.
Now, what I want to say about.
Thank you, AB.
Yeah, what I want to say also to extend on AB is that remember the same kind of situation happened with the Atlanta Falcons owner and their GM at the time, Danny Ferry, right? And then now we got this thing going down here in Phoenix, Arizona.
What's that?
Another owner being racist.
Yeah, Robert
Well,
Sarver. Robert Sarver.
History of it.
Well, most of the owners in the NBA are Jewish. I'm sorry. I thought that's matter of fact, last time I checked, they were almost all Jewish, except for the ones out there with the Knicks. I mean, with the Brooklyn Nets.
Right, yeah, he's Asian. Yeah, he's Asian.
Boy, I'm telling you, Dex, you catch up real fast.
Now, also, let us not forget that Kyrie didn't speak a word. All he just had was his book. So we can say that was cryptic because we know that Kyrie put a lot of cryptic ensemble on his Twitter or Instagram. Because he didn't say people go read this or nothing like that, if I'm not mistaken. Or he didn't say this is the best book I ever read in my life. You follow what I'm saying? He didn't lead anybody to his influence by just posting that book. But what he did was made people curious of what that was and what that's about.
How do you keep?
And that's more damaging. Listen, that's more damaging according to them than Kyrie out there speaking and maybe misspeak. And they can attack that, but they can't attack him if he don't say a word because a picture is worth more than words.
Can I go, Dex?
Yeah,
yes, sir. Go for it.
And I just want to make sure I didn't cut nobody off. I don't want nobody cutting me off. I brought up LeBron earlier because it makes, when you look at the optics, if Kyrie Irving is in this situation for something because of a tweet, and I'm saying is this: for LeBron to go back and comment and do what he did, even after the China situation, respectfully, that makes LeBron look like a hypocrite.
How come your boy Giannis didn't say nothing?
Giannis is okay. Giannis is part of it. Okay, Giannis is a part of it. You do realize that the majority of the basketball players, right? Or since you want to cut me off again, since you want to cut me off,
thank you.
Giannis is also a part of the NFL. It's part of the NBA PA. So what are we talking about here, Uncle Vern? What's the point of cutting me off for when I'm not done landing?
Okay.
And again, we're arguing about something that's not even the issue. The issue is not about anti-Semitic and Kyrie. The issue is about free speech. That's the issue.
Now, keep in mind now, with freedom comes responsibility, and with more freedom comes more responsibility. So keep that in mind when you say free speech.
Listen, I'm telling you, let's call a spade here, Dex. If we're going to talk about the issue, let's talk about the issue. Kyrie Irving, career's on the line over a tweet. Now, mind you, let's talk about the hypocrisy and how the NBA, if they're not blatantly racist, they won't talk about it. Let Eric Spoelstra have a tweet about a certain book that's racist to black people. would it have that same energy?
If Black
Probably. I think so.
Morale, I don't think so.
They don't say nothing.
He'll be suspended. Morale, he'll be suspended. But will it be a point to have him go through all those guidelines as Kyrie Irving is having to face just even step back on the basketball court over simply saying that he's not that, but the media knows he's not that because he's never had that issue as much time as you've reported and talked to this man. See, the issue, B. Morale, is not Morale. The issue is not a tweet. The issue is the free speech. They're trying to make Kyrie Irving be a good little boy, shut up and dribble, and make sure you do these task lists so you can come get this NBA check.
There you go.
That's the truth. That's the truth here.
That's what the Nets owner trying to do. The Nets owner mad because he can't control Kyrie Irving the way he wants to. So that's right. Remember now the tweet, but not days before people actually realize even not. But the only reason why people really realize even not because the Nets owner come out and condemn it. And when he condemned it, everybody been kind of looking like, well, what he condemned? And when they see what it was, it's like, okay, new narrative, new story for the week.
Nope.
Like you can't talk about the Lakers no more because they trash. You can't talk about the Nets because they playing bad right now. It's a lot of teams that they usually talk about that they can't talk
just
about.
Started, man. What the fuck are you talking about, man?
You said what now?
Well, I was talking to him. He was running his fucking mouth.
Who?
You.
Who play talking to?
You. You were just talking about the Knicks. Who was talking that bullshit?
I ain't say shit about no Knicks.
Oh, okay. Flight pressed somebody about the Knicks issue.
Oh.
I thought I was going too hard, B. Morale, and I had to.
That was Marquez who said that?
No, I'm talking about they're trying to. I'm saying like they're trying to shut Kyrie down, and see the issue is not the tweet. And we keep having to say this. The issue is not the tweet. The issue is free speech. And Kyrie Irving, because of what another superstar did, is becoming a victim by secondhand degree smoke because of it. But if we're being honest, B. Morale and Dex, can you really press somebody about anti-Semitic comments?
You know what I want to say? I want to cut you off. If this was Jose Alvarado, we would never be having this conversation. They would have just kicked his ass out the league. You know, it would have been yesterday's news. You know, the problem is Kyrie Irving is a talented motherfucker. You understand?
It's beyond that. It's beyond that.
It's
beyond that. Alvarado. Shout out to Jose Alvarado.
No, I just use him as an example. It could be anybody. You know, that was just the first
No, Flight. You on course, but it's beyond that he's talented. You follow what I'm saying? Kyrie made a statement during the bubble where he said, you remember what he said? Do anybody remember what he said?
It had to do with certain things about the country.
Man, Kyrie said we can start our own league right now.
There you go.
That's what he said.
That was a cardinal sin amongst that boys club.
Yeah.
To speak that into existence.
I mean, but if they don't have the players that run.
And ever since then, they've been watching and monitoring his mouth, his movement. If you ever thought about it, remember first, listen, black people used to monitor Kyrie, right? He had the party with the all white girls and didn't invite the sisters, and the sisters got mad and was putting stuff up on Kyrie that he don't like black girls and things of that nature, right? So now we start watching him a little bit. We know that he's mercurial, and then he talked about the flat earth and things of that nature. Okay, black people was kind of making fun of him. Other people wasn't really making fun of Kyrie. We was making fun of Kyrie, right? Because they was profiting off of Kyrie. So we was clowning him. But somewhere, somehow, he got woke. And it showed during the lockdown.
Yep.
And he said and uttered out of his mouth that basically, F them, we can start our own league if we want to. We got we the talent pool. We the talent source. And that was a cardinal sin because he said it and people heard it, so it entered into the minds of the masses. From that point, Kyrie has been monitored.
Yep. Exactly. Thank you, Dex.
Not to add on that situation with the shot. People forget about that too.
And not only that, the flat earth criticism. I think the world is flat. It is. He's right.
But regardless of the flat earth thing, because that was just a movement, right? That was a movement. It was trending for like 5 years, maybe like 8 years, the flat earth theory,
it's still
right?
trending now,
yeah, but it's not as trending as hard as it used to be. I mean, everywhere on YouTube.
How about this? I got a bigger question, and I'm gonna speak for the hood. These motherfuckers signing $200+ million contracts. You hear me? You listen to me, Dex? You feel me? These, and mind you, hold on, the salary cap going on. I ain't telling nobody how to spend their money, but these motherfuckers got excess. You understand? You telling me they can't come together, 10 or 15 of them, delegate a few resources, I'm just saying, these motherfuckers signing big dollars, man. I'm talking $200+ million. What these people signing for, Dex? Do you see these numbers? No, that's too much fucking money, man. They're gonna have to spread that around. They talking about this,
but Anthony Alvarado, like you said, you got to dig deep. But when that flat Earth was at its peak, it was being.
Do that though.
Hold on one second, let me answer him.
On them. Okay, hold on, stop. We should put pressure on them and say, hey, listen, y'all not one person individually, but y'all listen. These dudes got lifetime Nike. That's just the NBA contract we talking. We ain't talking about the shit that they getting on the side. These motherfuckers signing lifetime deals.
But listen, Flight. Listen for a second. Listen, hold on for a second. You got to understand that
motherfuckers broke, man.
The upper echelon, the elite that runs the matrix, right, pushes all the buttons. The real movers and shakers. They're connected like an octopus. Right. You follow what I'm saying? They got tentacles and everywhere. So if you want to go start your league, you're going to have to borrow money. You're going to have to get insurance. You're going to have somebody, not only physical insurance for injuries, but you're going to have insurance of the money that you're going to make. Right. You can't just put that in underneath somebody's mattress. But that has to go into a mortgage firm or something to that nature. Lords of London, you follow what I'm saying? People like that, and their tentacles is in that, and they can reject your money like they rejected Yang's money.
Right.
They should try to do that instead of saying, "Hey, we donated such and such to whatever the fuck." No damn sure ain't nobody gonna get that. Why they don't go to somebody every project in every hood, every neighborhood? This nigga is in Brooklyn, New York. God damn it!
And you heard what Yee said, right? It's not about money with them. It's about positioning.
It's about control.
Yeah, you gotta have position to have control. Because Yee said, I'm over a billionaire, and the people that's telling me what to do, they only maybe make about 200,000 a year. But they telling me what to do.
Okay, now Flight. Now look at it like this.
He said octa squid.
All right, now Flight. Look at it like you just said. Okay, now look. Okay, now remember the ABA. They had the ABA back in the day and stuff like that. It took so much money for them to get on and everything like that. Like you said, a lot of players got that type of money, but to a certain extent, a lot of them players got that money coming from, to a certain extent, those endorsements and everything else. When that well go dry, a lot of that money is going to go dry because of the fact that they got competition now, and the competition is the entity is the NBA, and it's a powerful, strong entity, and it's ran by a group of people.
Nobody should be broke and Akron. Nobody.
Thank you.
You shouldn't have motherfuckers walking through the streets. You feel me? I mean, this
no tennis shoes and LeBron comes.
I ain't say the whole state of Ohio. I said Akron.
What? Hey, Dex. I've been wanting to ask you this a long time, Dex. How come Michigan? I mean, not Michigan, but how come what's the name? Them still ain't.
Shout out to Coffee.
How come the peoples in Michigan still ain't got good drinking water? Where Magic Johnson them from? He got all that goddamn money. How come the people, where Magic from in Michigan?
Well, they did their little publicity stunts for about a week or two, and then everybody went back to doing their thing. And what happened was they got charged, right? Those people that was over that water rerouting got charged, and none of them got prosecuted.
Yeah, and they still ain't got good drinking water, do they, Jacks?
No, sir.
All that money.
I was in Flint. I was up in Flint.
Them Negroes giving money to Michigan State and Jalen Rose and Draymond Green and all Magic Johnsons and them of the world, and the people's out there begging. They got all that money. Magic got all them places, all that money, Michigan, and the people still out there in his hometown.
But one thing I can tell you, Bern, we didn't get in this situation overnight, and we damn sure ain't gonna get out of it overnight. And that's the big 800-pound gorilla that's in the room, because a lot of us want to get through this overnight, and we don't want to walk the course, which we would have to sacrifice if we would want everybody to be on a level where they can be above poverty. See, a lot of us don't want to sacrifice that.
It's just
sacrifice our lifestyle.
That right there is
Hold on, we got to make an introduction. Oh, that's AB talking?
Yeah, let me say this one
My
thing.
bad.
That right there, what you just said, Dex, is why these dudes won't start their own league. Is because you're going to have to sacrifice. People going to have to put money up. People going to have to go form relationships and then create an infrastructure. And then the next generation, it's the same way with the NBA. Right now, LeBron and them making $200, $300 million. But when you go back to the pioneers of it, you can look at Michael Jordan, you look at Magic, Larry Bird, all of
Julius Irving.
Julius Irving, they ain't make that money.
Facts.
And so that's the thing that people don't want to do, is that they could create these financial systems and these structures that could pipeline back into their own hometowns, and you could put an arena in Akron and then have people come there and put money back into that city and all of these other places, but they ain't gonna do it.
I want to say something.
Sacrifice.
Before we introduce Coffee, I want to say something. I grew, obviously I'm from New York. I'm from Long Island, but I used to go to Harlem like every weekend to visit with my grandmother. They had the Magic Johnson Theater on 125th Street. This dude, Matt, that theater employed that movie theater, I'm telling you, you thought it was the mall. You know, I don't know what they did with it now, but that shit was crazy. You know, when I used to go to that theater, and I'm telling you, so many black people were employed there. It was in the middle of 125th Street in Harlem. Yeah, I don't know how I can equivalent that to other cities, but I mean, it don't get no blacker. You know, and like you just stated, AB, that was less money. I want to see these people with these big money, these endorsement deals. I mean, come on, just 10 or 15 of them. You know, especially the ones making maxed out. That's just too much fucking money, man. You know, I'm sorry. You know, I ain't telling them how to spend it. Listen, we got to imagine my man Coffee is in the building. Coffee, what's the deal? I know it's getting real tonight.
Yeah, dead ass. Shout out to the panel. We need to stop. We need to stop all this sugar shit. We sugarcoating this shit. Fuck that. It need to be a revolution. It's a damn sad commentary that ain't nobody stand behind Kyrie. Didn't nobody stand behind our brother that took a knee in the football. He still ain't got no job today. All this marching shit, all this bullshit. Need to take a bat and beat their ass to the white meat. Fuck that. Fuck all that other shit. Black people ain't never did shit to nobody. We ain't never been racist. We ain't never did shit to nobody. We love everybody, all walks of life. But this shit can't keep continuing. The man tweet, they don't do nothing. Jeff Bezos, that's his platform. He don't do shit. That's all a facade. That's all bullshit. All this shit makes me sick to hear, because everybody say the same shit all the time. When you speak out, they think you obnoxious and you this and you that. Something wrong with you. That's why we got to love the LeVar Balls and love the Deion Sanders, love these brothers, because they take black men out of the household, and now you ain't got nobody to raise the children. The girls and the boys getting raised by the streets, and they like zombies out here, like little gremlins. They'll shoot you, rob your mother, rob your father, all this shit, and that's that white man's system, his sick-ass system. So now I hear people talk stupid shit like Basil, because I think you the feds, and I'm gonna keep on saying that shit. All that dumb shit y'all say, all that old goof-ass shit, fuck that. Fuck all this talking, fuck all that. We're gonna die anyway. Like the minister said, we're gonna die anyway. You might as well die for something. Shoot all these motherfuckers that be on that racial shit. They print money. They don't give a fuck about your money. When he gave them $500,000, they laughed at that shit. They said $500,000. Nigga, we make money. We print 50 million, 100 billion, 2 trillion, all that shit. We print money. Don't give a fuck about your fucking money. So what you do? You take their money, and how you take their money? By taking their life. Like Malcolm X said, you spit on me, I'm gonna kill your mama. Period.
Okay.
They wonder why you angry, wonder about this, that, and other. It's too much shit happening. Fuck all this sugar shit. We gonna say it. Don't bite your tongue on it. Stand on your shit. Period.
Shout out to Coffee, y'all.
Fuck all that old goof ass shit. Kyrie ain't did a damn thing but the truth. Kanye, even though he be flip flopping on his politics, he came out there with the truth. Right. Some of that shit, you got to look at this shit, man. We had a Malcolm X, we had a Farrakhan, we had a Marcus Garvey, and so on and so forth. It got to keep on going. This shit can't stop. Niggas get too happy. 1 billion, 2 billion, got enough money. We could have been made Black Oklahoma. We could have been had our own hospitals, grocery stores, banks, and schools. Fuck y'all waiting for? Everybody pointing a hand on this goof ass shit. You can't even look at the motherfucking eye before he's saying you this and you that. Hating on motherfuckers like LeBron. How you gonna hate on LeBron Ball? Are you fucking sick?
Facts.
That man did amazing shit. Deion Sanders, amazing shit. These brothers doing amazing shit. And all you do is sit back and look at your petty ass self, your food stamp having ass. You can't get shit going because you get high for motherfucking a bag of Flaming Hots in the Arizona tea. That's what do it for you motherfuckers.
I like hot fries.
Man. No, you want to point the hand at brothers, oh, he ain't doing this because you ain't got nothing else popping. These other platforms talking about LeVar. If you don't talk about LeVar, your shit go down. Everything go down. Good or bad, he popping all the way around. So why you keep talking about it? If he ain't shit, why you keep talking about him on your platform?
Facts.
These old goof ass motherfuckers' names I won't even mention because they beneath the dirt of anybody. They're a peasant, a fucking peasant. Period. You ain't got enough knowledge to ball with a LeVar Ball. The man is incredible how he did it.
Who running around talking about LeBron?
That's all them goofy motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? His wife is incredible. His wife is so incredible because she stayed with that man. You can't get a woman to stay with you for nothing. If you fucking squeeze a toothpaste the wrong way, they want to leave. Are you fucking kidding? Come on, man. Let's stop sugar rating this shit. That Kyrie did something.
Let alone put the toilet paper roll on backwards.
Stand on this shit, dead ass. Stand on this shit. Fuck that apology. I don't say I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Man, stand 100 toes down. I did it. I said it. Let's do it. Because if he stand on that shit and Kanye stand on that shit, then everybody else gonna start joining forces. It's a mob of us out here. We spent $1.6 trillion with these people. Stop all that spending with them people, man. They gotta get the money. How they gonna get the food when they gotta spend their money? You can't get your delivery. You standing in front of your house. You can't get shit. We standing downtown. We everywhere. You can't do shit. So you got money. What you gonna spend it on? If we blocking your shit, you can't do nothing. People too sweet out here, waving hands and pointing fingers, looking at other brothers. How you gonna get angry at another brother? Only time I get started at another brother when it's ignorance. When people say I'm racist, you damn right I'm racist. You know what I'm racist against? Ignorance. You could be black, you could be white, you could be Hispanic, you could be Asian. If you on some nigga shit, some stupid shit, kill a motherfucker for no reason, I'm racist against you. Period. Period. You gonna shut down a whole motherfucking thing of people and the motherfucker got no movement. So that's why I say, man, black people can't be racist. We ain't got enough money to create them laws and change the laws and change the countries. We only can be prejudiced. Them white motherfuckers are racist. That damn Donald Trump came on TV and told you, I ain't paid taxes in 15 years. Now do something. Now do something. Y'all motherfuckers ain't did shit. He keep telling you what he do. Yeah, I squeeze bitches' asses and titties. Do something. Do something. Man, motherfucker said that shit out loud. Nobody did shit. Kyrie motherfucking retweet some shit. And they were trying to make this motherfucking cast this motherfucking man. Come on, man. Think over this shit, man. Think. All this old goofy ass shit we be spurring out here. All this old nothing shit. Every time I hear a nigga talk about LeVar, you just got to be the most penny wearing ass nigga. Like you ain't shit. Though nothing but the white man's nigga. That's what your ass is. The white man's nigga. Period. That motherfucking Kyrie Cole. We all should have been standing by. Stop standing behind him. Stand in front of him.
They too in love with LaMelo.
Stand in front of him.
They too in love with LaMelo, so they want to speak bad about LeVar.
Melo so cold, Zoe so cold, Jello so cold, Tina so cold, they father, the mother so cold. That's a blessing. That's royalty. That family is amazing. Period. You can't say nothing bad about them. You can't say shit bad about them. Nothing.
Hey, Crawford, we about to start making an example of these niggas.
You got to.
Worry about it.
That's the only way they preach. That's the only way they learn.
Let me say something right here.
Preaching.
The days of these motherfuckers running around here, running rampant, is about to come to an end. You know, I'm putting a public service announcement right now. I'm about to start making I don't know about I'm about to start personally making an example out of some of you motherfuckers, man, for real.
That's facts. That's facts.
All jokes aside. I
want to say something. I want to say something to the brother Ball Facts, the brother AB the Hero. Flight Sports TV is the hottest shit in the streets. Them brothers doing great work. So every time they say something about LeVar, and every time they say something about the family, and people say stupid shit because they in their feelings, anytime you hear motherfuckers say anything bad about AB, Ball Facts, or Flight Sports TV, they sick and in their feelings. That's female shit. They fucked up. They ain't got nothing else to do. Ain't got nothing else to be motherfucking pushing, but bullshit. It's like, if you ain't gonna do it, if you ain't gonna go and tell your mama that shit in her face, don't put this bullshit out here. Because every time you say some stupid shit, is a reflection on your mama. Not your daddy, your mama, because your mama left her daddy. You should have died in your mama's stomach. You should have died. You shouldn't even made it here.
Shots fired. Shots fired.
Period. And I'm calling any motherfucker, and I dare you to say something. I dare you. Dead ass. I do this shit. Ain't about no gangster shit. Ain't about none of that shit. But when you standing with real motherfucking soldiers out here, we got real soldiers that hate this shit that's going on. We make money because we real. Money don't mean shit to us. It's about livelihood. It's about family. It's about putting a nuclear family together, raising your children, being there for that black goddess that's there for that black god. That man is a god. You a goddess. That's what she is. Ain't no such thing as no motherfucking, oh, he a weak black man. He ain't shit. Look at all the shit they put against us. All this dumb shit, and we still rise. All this bullshit don't get a man no jobs. Take the black man out of the household. He can't make 6 figures. Are you fucking kidding? So anytime you got a LeVar Ball, a Deion Sanders that's doing this shit, man, Minister Farrakhan, the people that's done blessed the world with greatness, you got to fall back, look at your dumb ass self and say, why am I not doing this shit? If you can't pick the people up around you, for God's sake, don't let them bring you down. These idiots would bring your motherfucking ass down because they ain't got nothing else to do. And they want you to feed into their negativism. They bullshit. And when you talk like this, first they want to say, oh, you racist, or you mad, something wrong. Ain't nothing wrong, motherfucker. Only thing wrong is your ass keep existing. You should be dead. I should have bust your head to the white meat. Period. Let these motherfuckers walk around free like this. How the fuck Stephen A. Smith walking amongst us? How the fuck Shannon Sharp walking amongst us? Talking that dumb shit. Used to bust their head to the motherfucking white meat. Every time a black motherfucker say some stupid shit, his head should get busted the whole white meat. Like a motherfucking taco. Busted motherfucking taco. It should look like that motherfucking
So you think it should be chastised, right?
That dead ass. It should look like that motherfucker. What's that seafood that you eat, not crab legs? What's that lobster tail? Your shit should look like a lobster tail. Wide the fuck open.
Oh.
Bust that shit like a lobster tail. Dead open. That motherfucking LeVar Ball is awesome. And that's why I keep saying it. I'm going to stand on it. You can't say nothing bad about this man. Not nothing bad about his family. Not shit. Man did greatness. Deion Sanders did greatness.
That's all they want is LaMelo. And throw everybody else with the baby in the bathwater.
Which is so fucking absurd. You see what Deion Sanders doing?
What's up with all of that? What's your thoughts on that, man?
Well, I'll tell you my thoughts on it. Their head should be busting the motherfucking white meat. That's the thought. It shouldn't be a thought. They shouldn't get a chance. They shouldn't get a chance to thought. Bust the head to the white meat and all this shit stops. You got an eye for an eye. Fuck all that sugar shit, turn the cheek, all that Martin Luther King shit. Bust they motherfucking shit to the white meat and all this shit gonna stop. Period. I'm out of here.
Rated TVMA.
What you talking about? All this bullshit.
I'm trying to find out too.
Well said, Coffee. Well said.
I don't understand, y'all.
Now, what does open the game night mean, Coffee? Now, let me stop.
No, but it's crazy. Go ahead, Flight. I don't want to cut you off.
No, you good.
I don't understand. Flight, don't you understand too? People be broke. I'm talking about people be broke. Don't got no shoes on them. Can't barely get no clothes. Can't get their clothes washed. Flight sleeping in cars. And niggas like LeBron come on here with $200 billion, talking about $1 billion, right? What other than that school in Akron, right? Like, there's no reason why, as much as LeBron say he loves his community, why he not doing stuff to help the community?
Well, I mean,
right or wrong.
I don't know if you can put it all on LeBron. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
No. I'm not just getting at LeBron. I'm talking about LeBron. I'm talking about the people who get the biggest contracts and just sit there and just say and only do it just a little bit to the point to where, it allows people to say, okay, you're doing what you're helping the community.
Okay, let me share something with you real quick.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Listen. First of all, we are in a time where we have amassed more wealth than any time that we've been in America. But the difference is our wealth is spread out like you spread your fingers. We haven't came to the point where we can pull it together, all our resources, and make it a fist where we can have a greater impact than a slap with your palms wide open.
You're right. But that you're right, Dex.
So what happens is this. There's always something interferes when we get to a level that we know that we need to pull our resources together. Then all of a sudden something chaotic happens. Oh, somebody stole something out the coffer. Oh, somebody ran off with this. You know what I'm saying? Because like Coffee said, when another black person do something deprecating to another black person, it should be consequences. It should be consequences on that person. Just like the jail system. See, this what happens. When the brothers are in the jail system, they run it the way it's supposed to be ran, right? They band together, no matter where you're from. You could be from LA, you could be from South Dakota, you could be from New York, and you could be from Texas. You might have beef with each other because of geographical locations or whatever. But if another outside of your race tried to do something, then the brothers band together. When they throw spreads, they band together. They put the money in, they go get the commissary, everybody pitch in, they have a spread, celebrating somebody's birthday or just celebrating something. Some type of African day, some type of holiday that's dealing with Marcus Garvey or the Soledad brothers or whatever. These are the type of activities they do in a micro situation. But soon as they get out and they hit the real world, that camaraderie that they had in the prison houses don't necessarily translate to the real world. And the same guys that put pieces money together to do good amongst that yard or whatever they on in that prison, when he gets out into the real world, he might bust somebody's head 30 minutes into his freedom. So we have to keep our mind focused on the big picture. So when that camaraderie from prison comes out into the real world, then the real world should also greet them in a manner where we can keep that continuity going, where he don't fall off and then have to be out there living for survival instead of living for love. And that's the thing that a lot of us do, because we get caught up in what they call this matrix, and we think, oh, all those guys in prison are bad. They deserve to be there, and blah, blah, this, blah, blah, that. Oh, they coming out. Oh, my God, we should be afraid. And so the connection don't continue. The continuity is broken. And like a light going into a filament to create a light bulb, that part of the filament is broken. So now that once had light in the prison, when he comes out, is darkness. And so he started doing dark things, or she started doing dark things. She started going back doing what she's doing. He started going back to what he's doing. And then the moment of crisis come when they have that stressful moment. Now they go back to the things they're comfortable with, and some of the things they're comfortable with are their vices, and those vices lead to bad behavior. That is something that has to be broken, and the challenge to do it is really not there, because the patient is not there, because we're caught up in the matrix, and we got our own cycle that we have to deal with. So coming into another person's cycle, it's like two bubbles bumping together in the bathtub. Either one pop or they both pop. So there's no continuity continuing to foster a good relationship. And like I said, this guy could be really good dude in the prison house amongst the fellas. But when he come out here, now it's him against the world. That's the mindset they have. And then the world have the mindset is that I don't trust him because he was in prison. He could do something. He could hurt me. He could steal from me. He could be treacherous. He could be debaucherous. So it's a whole lot of doubt and cynicalism invade our mindset and not looking at, okay, is this a redeemable element? Or do we throw him out with the baby in the bathwater as well? And that permeates our community big time. So the guys that do bad, they love the dudes that come out because now they feel they have a soldier with them now. They feel that, oh, he down. So they treat him like a badge of honor based on his criminality or his criminal history. The more criminal you are, the more we respect you. So a lot of things will have to change. We have a plethora of things to change, and we just have to start somewhere. What generation going to really pick up the mantle and say, you know what? Let's do it here. Because when we look at the history of the United States, remember the United States was a British territory. The British claimed this. And the Spaniards claim a part of it. The French claim a part of it, right? United States claimed British claimed United States. The Spanish claimed Mexico. And the French claimed Canada. And so these three countries that makes up the North American continent was being ruled by multiple fractions of Europe. So somewhere somebody said, you know what? I'm tired of this. Throw the tea in the ocean. You know what I'm saying? Somebody down there in the southern part of North America said, I'm tired of this. And now we got Cinco de Mayo as a holiday.
Right.
Somebody up in Canada. I'm tired of this. Everybody don't want to go by the dictates of the French and Napoleon and all those type of stuff. So you have to come to a point where you're so dissatisfied that dissatisfaction triggers a change. But that has to be in it don't have to be in the majority, but it has to be in enough where it could be influential. And then every time we get to that point where it's dissatisfaction, that's when they throw the money. And that's when people start selling out. And Coffee mentioned Malcolm X. And I remember everybody was saying the Nation of Islam killed Malcolm X. The Nation of Islam killed Malcolm X. And now look, the people that they arrested are now getting paid for being improperly incarcerated. And these were people that was members of the Nation of Islam. But who's talking about it, right? Because every time they always wanted to say Farrakhan and those Muslims and killed Malcolm X and that was our hero and blah, blah, blah. Somebody convinced you that. But the courts said, no, they didn't. After all these years of being in prison, they found out these guys were innocent. And then as they start digging into the archives of Malcolm X, because it was a cold, it still was a cold case once they had been exonerated. Now they have to compensate these people. I'm talking about millions of dollars, like $16 million. I think they got compensated. But who's talking about it? How many people know that they've been exonerated? So you cannot never say that they killed Malcolm X. You understand what I'm saying? When we are being led by those who control the matrix, we're going to always make these type of mistakes. But who's apologizing for that? Just like with Kyrie Irving, bring up a situation that sparks our conscience to look at a different direction. Who's going to apologize for the truth that's in that book if they saying some of it is not true? Well, what about the truth that is in that book or in that documentary? It wasn't all the way false. if that's what you want to say, if you want to spin that narrative, like some of it was misleading information and it was uncorroborable. But what about the other aspect of that documentary? Who apologizing for that? Nobody's asking that question. Shaq calling him an idiot, Charles Barkley calling him an idiot. But what about the other aspect of that book or that movie or that documentary? Are they calling the people idiots that did some of the horrible things that's included in
the
there
book?
that's documented?
Dex, you cooking, Dex. You're cooking. And to add on to that point, Dex, Shaq called Kyrie Irving an idiot, which is basically what he said, an idiot. Right, Dex?
Yes, sir. Him and Barkley.
Which again makes even Shaq a hypocrite when you're talking about being more conscious, right? Since we're talking about that conversation, right? He owns a restaurant which is owned by a Jewish person who has said racial slurs about black people. Right?
Yeah,
Let's
Papa
talk
John.
about it, Dex.
You talking about Papa John's?
Papa
Talking about Papa John's, right, Dex? Let's talk about it.
That's a good
Yeah,
point.
but he got discipline. He got discipline.
He got discipline.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying though, Dex, if you're gonna call Kyrie Irving an idiot, then you can say, Shaq, you a hypocrite. And technically speaking, if we're being conscious, you can technically say, Shaq, you calling Kyrie an idiot is making you look like a sellout. Because you're owning a company that's owned by a man who's a Jewish man that says, and I quote, said racial
I don't
slurs
think he
towards
owns
black
it
people.
anymore. I think the executive board kicked him off.
No, I'm sorry. The guy who said the racial slurs, he doesn't own Papa John's anymore. But that is still a taint on Papa John's. And
Well,
the fact that
listen, let me share this with you real quick so you'll understand. Now, see, this is what they do. That's why they did Donald Sterling that way. They got him out. You know what I'm saying? He was a fungus among them. So, okay, he's a little bit out of here. You follow what I'm saying? So we got to get him out because he's going to end up exposing too much because too many people are going to look into how this organization really is ran. Because that's what was happening with Donald Sterling. When he was there too long and it was like, what's going on? Adam Silver had just came into the commissioner booth, and that was his first big task is to get rid of Donald Sterling. So cool. So you can't say nothing there. You follow what I'm saying? Because we did get rid of him. Papa John, same thing. We did get rid of him.
But come on, Dex, what you just said, Dex, what did you just say? We're talking about consciousness. We're talking about right and wrong. And Kyrie has opened it up for us to talk about conscious and right or wrong. If we're gonna talk about one side of Kyrie being an idiot, we have to talk about Shaq being associated with a company by the same guy who's Jewish calling black people racial slurs. We have to do that, Dex.
But that's
because
what
now
I'm trying
that's
to
not
explain
being
to
fair.
you. That's how they settled it. They removed him from the executive board and eventually probably just bought him out. But see, the thing, what I'm saying is that these guys get rewarded with compensation, even though they're out of the limelight or out of that business. They had to buy him out. He didn't just leave. He didn't get stripped.
You're right, because when you think about what they did to Kanye, they said, "Yo, we're ceasing all production of Yeezy products." Adidas said that, and we're stopping all payments to Kanye at this point, and we own all X, Y, and Z, and we'll still sell it without him. No money. The compensation, we just dropped you. You're done, right? You see what they did with Nike did to Kyrie. Your shoe that was about to come out, it is not coming out anymore, and we suspending it. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So you on to something right there. It's a different settlement when the shoe goes the other way, and I think that's two things that is a reflection on how we get set up to do business, but that's also a reflection on why you have certain people who gotta say what they say. Shaq gotta say what he gotta say because the same thing. It's easy for them to say, all right, bro, it's over. Actually, cut the cord, you done. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
LeBron, similar situation. They canceling all of these things. They put them clauses in there. What I think is also interesting as well is when you start talking about it from a conscious standpoint, what you see from guys, a lot of these media entities who then say, we don't want to hurt nobody. We don't believe in things, people saying things that hurt people. But you look at a track record of people who then have a history of saying shit that pisses people off. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the business of what they do. Shaquille O'Neal and his situation with JaVale McGee. If you think about that, JaVale McGee's mama had to come in there and be like, please stop talking about my son. Imagine that when you claim to be somebody who cares about people and you love the game so much and you don't want to cause no harm to it. And then you are so hard on a man that his mama gotta help him out.
Facts.
You know what I mean? That shows to your character, right? And I always say this too, and Coffee was going off on it as well. And I look at this thing because I see, you know what I'm saying, people be on, they talk. And what I realize is that people find their personal value in different ways. Some people find value in lifting people up. Some people find value in tearing people down. Some people find value in looking within themselves. And then some people need to get the value from the community. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of folks just want to tear some shit down because they feel like if I can tear you down and dehumanize you a bit, then my little bit of shit look better, right? It's not even about let me grow some, let me make some or have more. It's about how do I make you look smaller so then the little bit of shit that I got looks bigger. You know what I mean? And that man Coffee really was on to some shit because I feel like when it comes to a lot of this stuff, I look at it from a peaceful angle. But I feel like he gave some game because a lot of that shit and a lot of these revolutions that do happen after blood is spilled. The change comes after blood is shed, after people have sacrificed things, sacrificed lives, sacrificed money, sacrificed X, Y, and Z. And I feel like we are on the threshold of that type of situation coming about with this whole thing. And and so it's a lot of bull BS going around, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like it's coming to that point where you can't be Martin, you know what I'm saying? You got to turn into Malcolm a little bit, and that's some game he gave before he got out of here.
Right.
Well said, AB.
Well said, AB. Go ahead, Flake.
No, I was agreeing with y'all. Go ahead.
And y'all think, and I'm gonna ask B, and this question goes to everybody on the panel, right? This is a conscious discussion, right? Let's go into it. A lot of people, and it's not just Kyrie, right, Dex? The great Kareem Abdul-Jabbar even commented on the situation. Did he not, Dex?
See, Kareem already knows what it's like to be emasculated in the media.
Correct.
And Kareem at one time, he lost a fortune.
Yeah.
Because some unscrupulous or maybe scrupulous person of associated with the upper echelon viewed him, no pun intended, out of millions of dollars.
Right.
And
so
he had to go through heaven and hell to get this guy prosecuted. And that was back in the late 80s? That was probably back in the late 80s. Then his house mysteriously burned down in Westwood. He had a house like right down the street from UCLA in a very posh area of Beverly Hills, Westwood. His house mysteriously burned down. So he knows what it feels like to be that type of victim
Absolutely.
who the media try to paint as a villain.
Exactly.
You know, because he thought different. He had that. They used to call his name funny, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and all that old type of stuff. I mean, I remember it back in the day. You know what I'm saying?
I'm saying
The captain is a little awkward, but you know, he's our captain.
Right.
So
I say this to say this. You know, I just want to put that out there before I really get into the meat and potatoes. We talk about Shaq, who's also called Kyrie Irving out my name, who's also just proven is also one of the biggest hypocrites. Even though even though he has to say that, I'm still saying that's a hypocrite because guys like even Kareem, who was once labeled as a victim, have y'all noticed something? Have y'all noticed something? And it's not just the Kyrie Irving issue, Dex. Colin Kaepernick, who arguably put his career on the line, right, Dex, to speak the truth.
Yeah, but Colin Kaepernick got compensated though. So
right. He got He got compensated.
Yeah, he got hush money.
Right, he did get, but he got hush money. Brett Favre just scammed millions of people. We're talking about millions, and he's getting a slap on the wrist. What I'm trying to get y'all to understand here, it's not just the NFL. It's not just the NBA. It's the NFL. These high power beings or the elites are hypocrites, and the people they're telling and the rhetoric the Matrix is trying to push through the media. They're not noticing that the people they're trying to push the message through are even the bigger hypocrites and sellouts.
But see, the thing of what I was saying is that they got tentacles in so many facets of life that we basically depend on in this matrix, right? And when you look at a lot of the athletes who have these people as their accountants or money advisors and things of that nature, a lot of these athletes go broke. And those people that stole money from them are not even pursued or prosecuted. It's like ignorance to the law is no excuse. Well, hold up, man. I'm trusting some specialists, right? This person supposed to be a specialist. This person is being bonded as a CPA. This person is being bonded as a money advisor, right? A financial advisor. I'm going through Merrill Lynch. I'm going through Lords of London. You feel me? I'm going through all these major financial institutions, and you have people that work for you who have Stein and Steen as a part of a suffix to their name, and nothing happens when they put my money in high risk situations. That they're not respecting me as a human to protect my assets for the duration of my life. Because that's what they're supposed to do. Duration of my life. But they take my money and they play it Russian roulette with it. But then the same guy that plays on my team, that's a little got the complexion for the connection, his money might not be as large as mine throughout our career. But when my career is over, I'm broke. But when his career is over, he's sustaining. How is that? And we both share from the same mega financial institutions. And sometimes one guy might have 4 accounts because somebody on that team might say, "Yeah, my guy is this guy. Well, yeah, work with him. Okay, cool. And he gets 4 people from one endorsement, and 2 of those people go broke, while the other 2 sustain because he took liberty to play with their money and hoping he's striking rich. But the other 2, he didn't, because he wants to still keep it in a way where he can always be recommended, and then say, yeah, well, they wanted, it just didn't work out. Those investments with those guys, it just flundered. But you guys are rock steady, so you have nothing to worry about. And a lot of times those two move on, and the other two that's broke, they like, hey man, you recommend this dude to me, man. What's up? You feel me? Now they changing their numbers and deleting you, blocking you, and the cycle continues. And he becomes an individual finance advisor, and then he gets the next generation, and then he teaches his son. He gets the next generation. So they never go out of business, but you always do, or we always do. That's another reason why it is so hectic, and you can't get that connection because these people are worried about their funds or how they can get their money back. And now they're so embarrassed that they went broke after having at least $80 million gross in their careers.
Yeah. Well said, Dex. I just want to say Coffee's wilding in the chat, y'all. Coffee is bugging out in the chat. And AB the Hero, a great interview with no jumper, by the way, AB. That's a great interview, AB. That was fire. But go ahead, Marquez.
No, go ahead, B. Morel.
Appreciate it.
Oh no, I'm good. I just want to say Coffee is going crazy in the chat, man. Shout outs to Coffee, though, man.
It's just like, wow. It's like we discussed this, and we're like, I'm happy, like that. This conversation is starting to happen, but it's like, my question to you guys is a very simple question. What do you guys think Kyrie's going to do? Is he gonna sit here and just deal with the L and go through the list, or is he gonna do what I think he's gonna do, which is retire from the league because he already got his championship, he already got his money.
I don't think it's gonna get to the point where he's gonna retire from the league. I don't think that. I don't think it's gonna get to that point. I think this is going to be reconciled somehow, some way. I don't know if I'm agree with the process of the reconciliation, but I think Kyrie is going to be back on the court for Brooklyn. And you got to understand that Brooklyn is where Jesse Jackson also got in trouble during the 1984 presidential run. Remember, he was running against Mike Dukakis in the Democratic nominee, and he said about Brooklyn, he called them Hymietown. That's what he was referring to. And that got him in trouble as well. And then he had to denounce a lot of people that was associated with him. And he kept running, but he lost the Democratic nomination. But he got enough percentage of the vote that kept him relevant throughout his political career in his association with the Democratic Party, because he apologized, he was buck broken, and he repudiated people that was around him that helped him in his campaign to gather votes. So this has been going on for a minute. This is nothing new. It happened in politics as well.
I'll tell you this. I think what is going to happen with Kyrie depends on who stands up around him. Right. So even if he said, you know what, man, I'm done, I ain't doing that stuff, and then he silently went out of the league, that would be a win for them. If he came back and just continued to play, that would be a win for them as well, right? Because he's good for business in the sort. But what will change is, I saw Mayweather say something about it, right? I saw these different outlets start actually covering people who said something about it. If you really look at ESPN and a lot of these sports outlets, they not even covering the fact that a lot of black folks are pissed off about how they treating Kyrie Irving. They don't even talk about it. They talked about the small number of people who was pissed off about his tweet, but they don't talk as much about the people who are pissed off about how they treat him because they go against the narrative. The bigger the voices that speak out, then you'll start to see a shift. And I think like this thing with the Nick Cannon video I was talking about earlier, where you finally get somebody on one of these with a personality and a platform large enough to say something that people can't act like they not hearing it or don't understand it. You know what I mean? A lot of us on our platforms, all different sizes and things, but these major outlets can act like they don't hear this conversation that we having tonight. To them, it's some shit that just a few people on the small corner of the internet is talking about. But the larger these platforms get that start picking this up, and you'll see Kyrie Irving might come back to the league and he won't be walking around looking like a sad puppy because he done got broken by everybody. He'll be able to come back and have the same confidence and vibrato that he did when he was tripling and doubling down in those interviews that they had with him. But it just depends on who's standing around him and holding him up. And I do want to give I think Floyd Mayweather deserves a lot of love because he is anytime there's a black man of some stature who is getting broken down in the media, whether that's good, bad, or indifferent, Floyd Mayweather on the phone with him.
Yep,
you look
Smith.
at what they did with Will Smith, Antonio Brown.
Right.
And like I said, good, bad, or indifferent, Floyd got him. Floyd with him. You know what I'm saying? Will Smith, Kyrie Irving, Floyd, one of the first people to come out and say something. And I think that that's got to add on to his legacy as being somebody who's going to stand up in these certain situations. And it also shows you the power of having your own shit, owning your own stuff, and you ain't got to tap dance and you don't have to act like you don't support something when you actually support it. Because I wouldn't be surprised if it's more NBA players and more of our leaders or perceived leaders who feel the similar way as many of us do, who want to say something but feel like they can't because they're going to get pressed by the establishment. And so I love Floyd for doing that. And he got a supporter in me forever because of how he been standing up as of late.
Breaking news. I got some breaking news.
Facts. Well said. Well said, AB.
Herschel Walker is leading his race for Georgia State Senate.
Well, so what's going on with Stacey Abrams?
I think she got her head peeled.
Oh, fuck.
He's in the league.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Kemp whooping that ass?
Yep.
Governor Kemp?
Yeah, Kemp is going to be.
Warner? No, Warner.
Yeah, he's going to the gubernatorial race in Georgia.
Damn, she getting her ass whooped?
She's down. Yeah, she's down.
She ain't gonna never win.
Yeah, she's down.
Flight. Woo! Flight.
Yo, now time out. Last time she was close. I'm gonna keep it 100. Yeah, this was. Yeah. She lost at the skin of her. She ain't got the wave like she had last time. Last time she had the wave. Yeah,
but she barely won last time when she had the wave.
Who?
She barely won last time when she had the wave.
Yeah. Now
she didn't win. She didn't win.
He just got high. Yeah,
she didn't win. She's not the incumbent. Kemp is the incumbent.
Yeah. AB, before you get on out of here, what do you expect from Jello coming up with these Greensboro Swarm games before you get out of here? You know you gotta ask AB about BBB. You gotta ask AB.
We just dropped too here at Flight Sports. Y'all go check that out. G3.
Yeah, so AB, what do you expect from Jello coming up on Friday and Saturday, AB? If AB's still there.
Ted Bud, the senator in North Carolina.
No, yeah, I said AB, before you get on out of here, what do you expect from Jello for his upcoming Swarm games on Friday and Saturday?
Shit, man, I don't know. He got to get on the court. He got to get some significant minutes. I don't expect much if they're going to keep playing him the way they're playing him.
But you know they called up Mark Williams, right? I told Dex this yesterday or 2 days ago.
Yeah, but they do that. They do that all the time, man. They call him up, send him back, call him up, send him back, call him up, send him back. The minutes is just weird because they post it every time. It'd be the same day. It'd be like they sent him down for practice, pulled him back up for the game, send it. You know what I'm saying? So that can't read too much into that. But yeah, I'm hoping that we get Melo back relatively soon, and so I can actually start watching again. I can't do it, man. I tried a couple games back to sit down and watch them. I just ain't interested. without my dog Mello on the court, and then Jello. I watched that whole damn G League game, and he played all the 3 minutes at the last. You know what I'm saying? So they got to get him on the court a little bit, man. So
do you think it has anything to do with Jello though? Is he like,
Great question, Dex.
Is he showing his ass in practice? What's going on? Is he content just being hanging on?
Yeah, we didn't get AB's mindset on this, but yeah, go ahead, AB. Go ahead, AB. What you think?
Yeah, man. I'm truthfully, man. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. What I can say is this, man. I know that in the preseason, right, there was conversation where people talked about him on the bench and like and just being like seeming uninterested or not, you know what I mean, supporting the team, not being like just out there. And I remember when I talked with LeVar, he had mentioned he's like, man, Jello been starting and been playing something. He don't even know how to sit on the bench. You know what I'm saying? Like he got to learn how to do that. And so what I have watched is in these G League games, I've seen him be more interactive or like aware of what's happening. You know what I'm saying? Of like how somebody make a play, everybody stand up and clap, or everybody acting throughs. You know what I mean? So
hell, they don't even do that with Charlotte Hornets.
And you know what I'm saying? So I say that to say that I realized that there was
Arizona got a Democratic governor.
There it is. There was some criticism that he might have got that he took and then applied it. So I don't think it's a disinterest thing. I don't think that he's not trying or he's just happy to be there, because I can see those small things that he's adjusting to try to get on the court. And so I don't know, man. I think it's just an opportunity. I think he's in a really tough situation because he playing spot minutes, and for anybody, it's really hard to come off the bench and then, you know what I mean, shine in that butt. That's what you got to do. You somehow you got to practice. I don't know if you got to go to sleep for 3 hours and wake up and then go shoot and knock down 100 shots. And you know what I mean? Just get used to shooting cold or something, you know what I mean, to get back on the court and do his thing. So.
Right. AB, is there any scenario do you see that Jello can get more minutes? Any way or any kind of way, somebody gets injured or something, and we don't hope for that, by the way. But is there any scenario you see Jello getting more minutes in the G League?
I think it's all of that, man. But it's hard because we saw last year. It really depends on what the agenda they have is for him. Because we saw it last year when, year before, I think it was last year, when folks started moving around because of health and safety protocols. Hello, y'all hear me?
Yeah, we hear you, AB. You good?
All right, sorry. Yeah, my earphones is going out. But folks started moving around because health and safety protocols, and then they just started bringing in new players and was playing them over him. You know, so it just depends. 3 or 4 people could get hurt, and that might open the door for him to have 1 or 2 games before they can find somebody else. And he just got to take advantage of that. So. I mean, that's the scenario I see for him to be able to play, man. Is just that the moments he get on the court, he just literally gotta damn near make every shot, grab every board he can, and play hella defense.
All right. Well, thank you for that, AB.
Yeah,
I know you
look,
Chad. I know we had to ask AB. You know why he's here? We had to. We had to get into this BBB talk. For real though.
Well, the Senate count to rule the Senate is 49-49 with 2 unassigned states. 49-49 with 2 unassigned states, and you actually need 51 to control the Senate for that particular party.
Hey, one of these days, man, I want to get on here with y'all, and I want to talk some of this, like my man Coffee was talking about earlier, man. Some of this little drama in the Ballerverse. You feel me? Because I feel like I don't know why niggas are making some crazy allegations. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like at some point,
like LaMelo has a restraining order.
Yeah, all of
That
all
was
of
real,
that
Dex.
crazy shit.
That was real.
I ain't never known no restraining order. I know it was like a little roughy patch, but hell, it's father and son. Sometimes it happens that way. You know what I mean?
I mean,
I
somebody
had
really
rough
said that.
patches with my daughter.
No, Dex. Somebody really said that though. Like LaMelo
Hell
got.
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Somewhat
Who
weird.
said that?
To me, it don't make
I
sense
mean,
because
I
why
know
would you do
it's
that?
deeper than that, but yeah.
Yeah, but I'm saying why would you somebody? Let's just say, from just a standpoint of the law, right? Why would you have a restraining order on somebody who live on the complete opposite side of the country as you? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the point of that? Who got their own to then say you got a restraining order that you can only come around me when I allow you to? That's just life, nigga. You can't come around. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It don't make sense. But it
He
just
sure was at the Drew League.
was at the Drew League
Yeah,
has
you know
been
what I'm
at
saying?
every game, courtside. Every time them boys play each other, the whole people be flowing in. Yeah. So I don't know. It don't make no sense. But
The only thing that I don't like is when you have somebody entrusted their son with you as a mentor, and the kid is out there saying gang gang. We saw him put something in his mouth. I can't say what it was. I don't even know what it was, but it don't appear to be something good for the body. Where's the mentorship? And then sometimes the mentor might say gang gang. Like, dude, really? No, shouldn't you be steering him into some other adventure besides finance, outside of the stuff that can get you harmed? So, people got to feed their family. They start out being correct, and then when the money start flowing in, and they don't want that money to stop, so it's like, instead of me being the mentor, I'm just gonna be the yes man.
And yes, Coffee. We didn't want to name names, Coffee, but yes, we know who you're talking about. Coffee name names in the chat, y'all. Yeah. But yeah, AB, go ahead, AB.
Said, man, one of these days we could get into all of that stuff, man. But I think what I always hear people do with LeVar is like you just said, is at some point there's just normal shit that fathers, sons, and families get into. You know what I'm saying? And I was having a conversation with somebody on my channel earlier today, and I realized how much people have like desensitized themselves or dehumanized LeVar Ball in their own eyes. Where the dude was trying to convince me that as a father, if somebody talks about your child negatively, you shouldn't care. And I'm like, bro, I have a son. If you start talking shit about him, I don't care what it is, I'm on your ass. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just pause. And it's like, but if I'm at,
you getting it, Dex.
Yeah. If we at the little league football game and the parent over there is doing too much talking, we got to speak about it. You know what I'm saying? And so it's just this ideal of like this desensitization, and then there's this crazy notion of like, if somebody says something negative about your child, you have to let them fend for themselves. However, on the other hand, you also then have to support them in every decision that they make. But then you can't, you know what I'm saying? Like it's this weird thing where you can't be opposed to anything. You can't say, "Hey, I suggest this," and then have them do something else.
And they have kids.
I don't believe that a lot of these people having these conversations have kids at all.
Exactly,
because it's from
asinine.
It's from a
I have a daughter. I don't even have a son. AB, I don't even have a son. I have a daughter, but we clash. Her and her mama clash. You understand what I'm saying? But you get to that point when you got to go through maturation and puberty. Those things happen until they get to the understanding that my mom and dad loves me. You follow what I'm saying? I know they love me, and I've been such a brat to them, and now I feel different. Now when my daughter had her son, then she want to know how to be a parent.
Mm-hmm.
She need help how to be a parent all the way around. And this is what we were telling her from the beginning.
Yeah. And you realize too, as a parent, you learn.
Right. You learn it because right. We don't know how to be a parent until we become a parent. You know what I'm saying?
And you say a bunch of, you end up saying a bunch of shit. I think about that time where I remember LeVar. If you watch that Ball and Family show, he's talking about the tattoos and how if you get tattoos,
you can't live in my house.
You can't live under my house. And now all of his boys covered from head to toe in tattoos.
And they in his house.
And they in his house.
I don't know where he gonna go.
Yeah. Almost and now, yeah. So I don't know. It just don't make no sense. It's a lot of, but yeah.
Like you could say, like for my daughter, for instance, she's going on dates and doing all kind of stuff, right? So you be like, don't bring nothing back that you didn't leave with. You know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden she tell you, Dad, I'm pregnant. You what? Oh hell no. You understand what I'm saying? But then she got 3 lovely kids, and I have 3 lovely grandkids, and we don't even discuss the time where we mad and we talking about, man, who the boy, who the boy at, and all that type of stuff. You feel me?
Yeah. Yep.
And then when I finally meet the boy, you know what I'm saying? Then we have our conversation and things of that nature, and they still together right now today.
Congrats, Dex.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, congrats on that.
I understand when LeVar go through things, and when I like to watch Ball in the Family, I understood as a parent. I've been a parent since 1987. AB the Hero.
Mm-hmm.
Since 1987, I've been a parent, and when I hear a lot of these people talk, that's what I say. Do they have kids? And if they do they really act that way towards their kids? Or are they just, putting up a front because they just don't like LeVar? Yeah. Because it sounds very egregious on some of the things they try to put on LeVar as it relates to some of his boys, and especially Melo, because that's the golden boy to them. That's the goose that laid the golden egg to them. You know what I'm saying? And in watching your interview with LeVar, he already said that. He already said my youngest one gonna be the best.
Yeah.
So a lot of their arguments is muted because you trying to convince us what he already said, and then you're gonna turn around and say that he don't like us. He don't like his baby boy. Like, where you get that from?
Yeah.
When he always said my baby boy gonna be the coldest. He gonna be the coldest. I'm telling you. Watch. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
He's been saying that forever, even before he was famous.
And I here's the thing too, and I understand it, right? Where a lot of these folks come from is this place of you spend a ton of time on this internet devoting your thoughts and talents to talking about this one person or this family. And then you find out that some of the shit that you've said has created a dynamic where they don't mess with you like that. And that shit could crush your ego. And then so I see that's why you didn't get a lot of these folks who end up jumping out the window with all of this random shit, just because the person that they people hate Flight Sports got to talk with LeVar Ball. You know what I'm saying? People hate.
They would have really hated if this other thing would have went down the way we had it planned. They would have really hated Flight. They would have sent them death threats.
Bro, that's just how it is, though.
They're lucky that didn't go down.
anytime I finish talking with him or be out there with him, he gonna be like, bro, I already know they're gonna be pissed at you, AB. And and then I come back and it'll be a whole new narrative spun about some shit. You know what I mean? And so it's crazy though, man.
Do you ever think the two sides could ever come together and do business?
You know what, man? The funny shit is, and this is the thing that is so weird, is that when I listen to some of these people talk, they tell the half truths, right? Like folks don't mention there was a time in which I was trying to set up a thing where some of them folks and some other folks, we could all like get on a live stream similar to what we're doing, and then have LeVar be on it. You know what I'm saying?
That'll be fire.
And exactly, and with that, I like sent them clips from everybody and who was going to be there, and it was like in the height of COVID and stuff, and then so they were down with it. And it's so crazy to me to hear people talk the stuff that they talk, because everything that they complain about or think that they know or some shit that went wrong was shit that was from before then. You know what I'm saying? So now all of a sudden, everybody getting exposed, and I heard some of this and I know this, and many moons ago you didn't even care. You just wanted the interview. You know what I'm saying? You wanted the opportunity. And now all of a sudden, folks is the devil. When not too long ago, you was damn near ready to sign your soul to go lay down with the devil. And then now all of a sudden, you don't want nothing to do with him. Yeah. But you do want something to do with him. If you get the chance, you will still sit down today. I don't know, man. It's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I say, the thing about it is that they want to pry LaMelo away and then cast spells, so it'll be a great chasm between father and son. My thing is, why would you want to break up a family? A family that's not out here doing anything to nobody, but just showing people that things could get bigger and greater if you apply yourself. And when we look at LiAngelo, we bring LiAngelo in with empathy and sympathy, because his struggle and his journey was a little different than his other two brothers. And we want to support him and give him the energy and give him the frequency and give him the vibe, so he can carry himself into the NBA like his other brothers. And then hopefully at some magical moment, they can all link up. And what makes them different from the Antetokounmpos and the Holidays is that their age is just right there. Whereas the Holidays, their age is way, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got one in the NBA for 13 years going on 14. You got one on 9 years going on 10. And then you got one with 4 years. The gap is just so big, so the attraction might not be there. But these boys are still young. They 25 and under.
Yeah, to answer your question, Dex, on why do people want to break up a family? And you talk about the Ball family. I think it's more so they don't like LeVar's braggadocious, loud, being loud. I think that's what it is. They don't like LeVar's mouth, basically.
Listen, that's what got them attracted to LeVar.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's not that, bro. It's not. That's why people, like you just said, that's why people love LeVar. What they're trying to do is all manipulation, propaganda tactics. They are looking at the greatest opportunity to get to get close, right? It's divide and conquer. Niggas been getting divided and conquered since the beginning of time. The same shit, ESPN.
Hello.
Yeah,
it's the same stuff. It's the same stuff ESPN tried to do many moons ago. Ramona Shelburne, when she wrote the article and actually ended up breaking up BBB from the jump, is digging, found some shit, and then was like, "Yo, I'm taking it out here." You know what I mean? And so that's all it is, man. It's just trying to find a way to divide some shit and conquer some shit. However, I don't think what people don't realize this is that if you're a LaMelo Ball, it 100% most people could understand why in that circumstance and what was happening when he signed that deal with Puma, why you would do that. $100 million, the brand and the shoe company and the family thing that y'all were doing, didn't what seemed like it was coming to an end. We get why you would do that. However, I don't think people give him enough credit. And this would be the thing that be killing me too, is folks will say you have to let him grow up and become his own man. And you watch LaMelo, then I say, so you telling me you don't think LaMelo is his own man? And they say, no, he is his own man. And it's this weird thing where if somebody don't become their own man, you blame the father. But when somebody becomes their own man, for some reason they don't want to give the father credit for that. And I say all that to say,
that's what I'm saying, AB. That's what I'm right.
I say all that to say, I believe that in this moment, I think it happened with Lonzo. I feel like Jello is kind of been on board, and I think that I would not be surprised if LaMelo is realizing on his own the potential in the opportunity that you have from being a part of your own shit. If you're not watching what's going on with Ye, if you're not watching what's going on with Kyrie, if you're not watching the numbers accumulate and how much the checks are from one entity, and then thinking about, because he owns his own t-shirt brand, right? And his own like clothing line. I'm sure that makes so much. He probably make a decent penny from that entity, and then you could extrapolate that into sneakers. And I'm sure he would be like, yo, it just don't make it makes far better business sense for me to go ahead and be my own man and get away from this large entities and corporations who pretty much control everything that you got going. And that's the last thing I say. It's so weird to me that we want people to be their own person unless they're being controlled by a corporation. And it's so weird that when we look at the people who are in who we're comfortable being controlled by, they never look like us. We're cool with, you can go get Adidas, Nike, Puma. You can have them tell you what to do, what you can't do, what you can wear, what you can't wear all damn day, and everybody will think nothing is wrong with that. You go and get a black dude and then have him be in charge of you for a little bit, or have him give you some guidance, and folks look at you like you done lost your mind. They don't understand why you would do that. And it's just weird to me, man. We got some like sick shit going on in this community.
Yeah, they just don't see value in anything that look like them, because maybe they don't see value in themselves.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. That's what I was saying earlier. A lot of these folks don't see the value in themselves. They only see the value when they tearing some other shit down.
Yeah.
You feel better. You feel like you might have power because you could say some disparaging shit about some people, but you don't get the same feeling of value when you do something good for yourself, when you do something good for other people. That'd be the shit that killed me, bro. I swear.
Yeah, I don't mean to cut you off, AB. You could just tell how people are moving by, the way they acting. You're over there dissing motherfuckers all day, trying to shit on people. I mean, something ain't right. Something ain't right. That's all I can say, man. It's tough, man.
Yeah.
Just keep motherfuckers running campaigns on people. I don't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry. Go ahead, AB.
And shout out to Coffee in the chat. We seen your comment, Coffee. Shout out to Coffee. Nah, but y'all right. Those same people who like Lonzo and LaMelo now were the same people when Lonzo was in UCLA or on the Lakers. Oh, Lonzo can't shoot. He's not good. Or when LaMelo was in high school, all LaMelo does is cherry picks and basket hangs. Those are the same people who like Lonzo and LaMelo now, and they still talk crazy. Oh, LeVar, let them be their own man. Those are those people. Those are those people. No, for real. You know that, Dex.
Listen, I'm like this.
There's people coming at Jello now.
My daughter could never be her own woman, right? While I'm alive. Because what I mean by that, I don't hold her hand or chaperone her or nothing like that. But whenever I notice something is off, I'm going to chime in. Whenever she needs a shoulder to cry on and know that it's safe and secure, she got one. So I don't know what they mean by let your kid, a person probably don't even have no kid, be their own. I told my daughter when she had my first grandson, I said, you know, that little crumb snatcher, that's yours. So you have to live for two. You can't depend on your man to stay with you forever. That's what I'm telling her. I'm giving her a game. Because I said, as a man, as your dad is a man, a lot of times we seek to conquer. And if something is delectable to our taste buds, sometimes we might not have the discipline to resist and we go for it. And then that can cause a rift in your relationship to you don't even want this guy in your presence anymore. So I know you're young now, but just remember, cover your ass because you're living for two. You're not living for you anymore. You're living for you and my grandson. Now you're living for three. Now you're living for four. You know what I'm saying? So she understood that process. But I said, that crumb snatcher is yours. He's my grandson, but he's yours. Anything I do for his little ass is out the kindness of my heart. I'm not responsible for him. But one thing I am responsible for is you. Forever. Yeah. As long as I'm on this earth, I'm responsible for you. You follow what I'm saying? To keep you in one piece until you ain't here no more or I'm not here no more. Then job is done. So don't ever think in one iota that because you a parent now, that removes me from being involved with your life.
Yeah.
You feel me? I said, I ain't got to never like him, which that's not the case. I mean, he's cool as fuck. That's not the case, but I'm just letting her know. I don't never have to like him. That's your job to like him and to keep yourself in as eye candy to him. That's not my problem. You, I'm responsible for because you did not ask to come here. I was involved in an act, right? Your mom gets pregnant, and we had the decision: do we want to keep it, or are we too young to handle this? And I'm like, hell no, I don't believe in that. I said, I'm like a Catholic, even though I'm not Catholic. I said, I'm like a Catholic. I don't believe in that. You follow what I'm saying? We did the act. We're going to do it. And this child ain't going to want for nothing. You follow what I'm saying? So I convinced her mom at a young age that I got this. If you ever feel that this is too much for you, you can bail out. But I'm good. And as long as you stay within the premise of this relationship, this covenant, we all are good. You understand what I'm saying? So this is the conversation I had with her to let her know that I'm here forever. There's no such thing as me just letting you just float off and bump your head. No, that's not how it go. Now, I'm not no type of dad that's, you know what I'm saying, that's always watching my daughter or nothing like that. That's not me. But I give her information constantly, whether via phone or in person, so she can carry out her everyday chores with comfort. And that's what I tell, that's my job as a parent. You know what I'm saying? As a parent, it's my job to make sure you safe and secure for the duration of your life, unless I leave first. Then it's nothing I could do. So don't trip. That's what I always tell, don't trip. And just always remember, whatever you produce out of your body, that's yours. because whatever I produce out of my body is mine, and you is that product. So I wanted her to have a thorough understanding on the relationship between me, her dude, and her kids. So there would never be any type of confusion on my duty as a dad, according to the information that I know. And this is why we have a real loving relationship. I mean, we are so fucking cool. And I always told her, see, I didn't play that friend dad shit. I told her when she was little, I ain't your friend. I'll put my foot so far up in your ass. You follow what I'm saying? So don't play me, because I'm not your friend. I'm your parent. I'm your dad. But we can have a friendly relationship at times. But don't think that our friend relationship meaning that we can go to bars, I drink with you, that would never happen. I smoke with you, that would never happen. There's a separation. There's boundaries that we have to respect and don't cross, as father to daughter and daughter to father. You know what I'm saying? I said my love for you is different from your guy love for you. We have a different kind of love. So don't mix the love up and be confused. You know what I'm saying? And I also taught my daughter how to hug me. So you can't hug me the same way you hug your man. You got to hug me a little different. You got to keep space in between us. You're not a little girl anymore. Now you're developed, you're mature, you have mammary glands. See, I have to talk to her like this. And this is why we have a thorough relationship. And I tell her to talk to your sons and your daughter the same way I talk to you, so there will not be any type of confusion and weird shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you for that, Dex. AB, what can we look forward to? Any new uploads, AB, that you have? New uploads, new interviews, new sound bites, shorts?
Yeah, man, it's they coming, man. They coming. It's I got a bunch of different ideas for content that I wanna to roll out. And I feel like I'm so weird with this stuff, man, where there be things that I just need to talk about in some videos, and I can't even create the other stuff that people want to see until I get the things that are important to me like out the way. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate even hopping on here tonight and talking with y'all, because all of this stuff is like it's right up my alley, man, as far as content, you know what I mean? It's things that I feel like are important to what's happening, not just from a content perspective, but like a perspective for our people and people in general, and the type of conversations that we need to be able to have in the public discourse where people can learn something from it and get out of this. I don't know what the weird shit people got going, bro, where they don't look at life like it's actually life anymore. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. So I appreciate y'all for having me, man, for sure.
Definitely salute.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to always be that contrast. It's because some people love to chase and dance in darkness and become an ambulance chaser of negativity. And then there's some others who wants to dance in the light and become a grabber and a hoarder of things that are good. So this dichotomy of the mind is based on how you pursue and perceive things that's in front of you and back of you and around you. And me as an individual, I always try to choose the light and what is good. Because people, listen, it seemed like to me, like I got nephews, right? I got nephews, they out there, they way out there, man. I mean, they in the gang banging, they in all kind of shit. You follow what I'm saying? And every time when they come around me, they be the humblest young men ever. But I know they some bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
They call you Uncle Dex.
Yeah, exactly. They call me Uncle Dex. And they be some of the loving nephews and nieces, and you know what I'm saying? We crack jokes, we play, we hug, we talk shit, we play sports together, we race each other. I mean, we just do a lot of childish things together. But these are some of the notorious young men that's probably in my area. And I ask them sometimes, why do you do the things you do when you know there's a better way? You know
And
what they say?
What they say?
I don't know. Nah, you know, you just don't want to tell me that you a little demon. Because you think I might not want to dissociate myself with you. But it's remarkable. And I tell them, I said, listen, you have people praying for you. But I don't know how long these prayers will be answered if you keep out there running with the wolves. Because everything has its linear timeline. And don't you want your timeline extended? And if you do, you got to back up on some of that stuff, man. You got to balance out some good with your bad. And maybe they don't understand that just yet because some of them are young and some of them are, in their 30s. And one of my nephews is in his 40s and he's the worst. I was like, how can you when you're 40 years old, how can you still be doing the things you're doing? Moving the way you're moving. You follow what I'm saying? That all your actions are going to have to be reconciled. And it depends on the reconciliation of your action, the consequences can be grave and you might not bounce back from it. So I advise you to slow your roll and do some fucking good in your life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can't be poison on the earth forever.
Yeah. I don't know
They
if
be like, oh, there you go, see, there you go. See, I didn't come over for this. I said, bro, but that's what you're going to get. You know you're going to get it. Some parts of our engagement, I have to share with you the law of attraction. Murphy's Law. Karma. I have to, because if I don't, I'll fail in my duty.
That's facts.
As an uncle.
That's facts.
You know what I'm saying? Some of you are my brother kids. Some of you are my sister kids. I mean, how would I look in the face of my sister when doom approaches and I had something to offer and didn't do it?
Yeah, you ain't do nothing about it, right?
So that's why I always tell my nieces and my nephews a lot of good shit. So hopefully it attach and they absorb it and act on it. At least it's there, like a seed, and it will germinate. You know what I'm saying? Because I can remember me being young and not having that information, and I made some bad decisions in my life. You know what I'm saying? It almost cost me my life. And I don't want them to have to endure that if I can help prevent it. But like you said, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink it.
Okay, Dex with the quote. I don't know if AB got on out of here. AB, I don't know if you still here, AB, or not.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah. So AB, this is my last question before you get on out of here. What do you say to the people who say Jello should go to another team or go to another G League team, or he should go to the Delaware Blues or the Austin Spurs or something? Like, what do you say to those people who say that?
Yeah. Man, I would say if he if they got some minutes for him, you know what I'm saying? Like, make the move if you want to, you know what I'm saying? He been in Greensboro for a minute. And I do think that for him playing in the G League is a good look, right? Most folks, I mean, he could go overseas and probably make a team for sure, but he has the right representation that he can make the most out of a G League deal. You know what I mean? His leaders, his agency is Rock Nation. You know what I'm saying? Like,
they should be able to keep him on a team, and they just got to, you know what I mean, make sure he getting the money on the back end. But I don't know. I don't think for him going overseas or something like that is necessary, right? Obviously, if he's trying to, I don't know, if he can't get one of these teams to give him some minutes and he just want to play some basketball and put up some numbers, moving over that way would be, you know what I mean, would probably be a good idea. But and I'm sticking with the idea that for him it's just a time situation. You know what I mean? He just got to get used to it and find his role.
Gotcha. All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's all I have for you, AB.
Sure. Straight up.
That's all the questions I had.
Yeah. I'll say this to what Dex was just talking about, because he is on to a lot right there. I will say, I think what I've realized, and I heard somebody say this recently, and I thought, man, this is kind of powerful, is oftentimes, like, we will, as parents, we get in this ideal, or sometimes as parents, it's easy to slip into this mode in which your life only becomes about your kids. And when you're doing like life right, the best thing for you to do is be there, support your children, guide them, put them on a path, get them, you know what I mean? Be a net for them if they need you when they falling. But you also then have to maintain your own personality, and you got to maintain your own passions, and you got to maintain your own drive for things that you want. Because there will become a time where your kids will grow up and then go off and lead a nest and become their own people. And if you stuck sitting there without your own passion or without the thing that you really love doing, you're gonna be in a shitty situation. You know what I mean? And I think I liken that to the situation with LeVar and them. I think he like is in a really opportune spot because he has the brand, and like in a weird way, the brand at this point is his baby. You know what I mean? It gives him something to wake up for in the morning to do, and then to do all of that jazz. And so I feel like that's what most people got to do, man. You got to give some that you could, you know what I mean, live for and chase on your own, man. So
yeah, I like
my last nugget.
All right, thanks for that. But yeah, I like when LeVar speaks about like the Waltons and the Hiltons and how they do it as a family and things like that. So he envisions that for BBB as well. So I like when LeVar says that. Yeah, that's fire.
Okay,
Yeah.
I got a question for both of you guys. What do you think about the sale of the Washington Commanders, and Jeff Bezos, Jay-Z, and Michael McConaughey is all involved in purchasing the Washington Commanders?
I like it. It gets some diversity in the ownership group in the NFL. I like if Jay-Z can pull that off with his partners. But I like it. I like it because what's his name? Snyder, that's a wild boy right there. Talking to cheerleaders and text messages. That's Dan Snyder's a wild boy. So yeah, I like it. Look, if I had it, I'll buy the Commanders. Look, I would have bought the Broncos. Yeah,
I was about the Broncos.
Yeah. But yeah, I like it, Dex. Yeah, like I said.
Yeah, because him and Jeff Bezos sat down in Hollywood on Sunset at a nice restaurant. I never been there, but I drove by there a few times, and the restaurant was closed for Monday, and they opened it for them to have their meeting and their dinner and things of that nature. And a lot of people are suspecting that meeting was based on buying the Commanders.
Yeah. Yeah, see, if it was I would have bought it before them if it was up to me. Like they take it too long. I would have been bought it. But go ahead, AB.
Well, he had to put it up for sale first.
Oh, Dan Snyder, yeah. But I mean, I would have never held no restaurant. Now I would have just been like, yo, Dan Snyder, how much? Oh, that, thank you.
No, you gotta have an investment group. You can't just get it like that. You gotta have an investment group. You have to be vetted. Yeah, you have to be vetted and then accepted by the boys club.
And that's corny to me. That's corny because why I gotta go through a background? That's basically a background check.
That's a background check, most definitely.
If the other 29 gotta approve me, like, bro, I got the money to buy this. Like, and who, like, at the end of the day, I'm controlling my team. Who are you? Like, but yeah.
They don't operate like that. That's why it's a billion, damn near $1 trillion entity, the NFL. So it's a lot of money to be passed around.
Yeah, they gotta vet you, or else they gonna keep getting in this situation where, they find out 5 years from now you racist as hell. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
yeah, Rush Limbaugh. Remember?
That's crazy. No, you're right. You're right. Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't even think about that. That's facts. But if I'm a black man though, AB and Dex chat and panel, and I'm going into a 29 white man group, already they look like I'm already at odds already just because of that. Yeah. But you're right though, AB. You're right.
Well, I don't think it's all white because isn't the guy in Miami?
Yeah, and the Asian lady, I think she's the owner for the Bills, I think. Yeah, but still, it's still close enough, Dex. Still close enough. Nobody's dark skin, nobody's black skin.
Yeah. But I think that's the thing where when you talk about Jay-Z being a part, right? That's why for them it's smart to have him be part owner, because then he obviously brings a level of cool, and then you can say like, oh, but I got the black dude over here. You know what I'm saying? So it's clutch. It's a win for him, but it's also like it puts Jay-Z in a position where he has to make moves that like affect black folks. You know what I'm saying? Like you're the dude.
Well, you know what he did? Drawer. He already snaked AB. He already snaked Jermaine Dupri for the Super Bowl thing.
Yeah.
And then he took over for the Super Bowl for entertainment. And people always said that Jay-Z did that because he's trying to be an owner of a team. And look.
Mm-hmm. And then getting in there, yeah.
He's getting
it's
in there.
It's the move, man. It's the move. I hope I hope they like really let him get in there and heed some of his advice, man. Because I think the Jeff Bezos situation is weird. Because I feel like that call of action of people being like, yo, how y'all gonna be on Kyrie about a documentary on Jeff Bezos' platform? You know what I mean?
Nice.
Like at some point, you would think that if they vetting people, they might be able to say, yo, Jeff, man, you kind of got a platform with a lot of bullshit on it, and you can't control it as your business model. Like by you supporting that on there, like maybe we can't, you know what I mean? And so I don't know. It's a shady game they playing, man. But they playing that billions and billions of dollar game, man. It's you know what I'm saying, not even first world problems. That's like prime. I don't even know what you call it, but it's elite issues. But
yeah.
I'm gonna slide out of here, man. I'm gonna slide out of
AB,
here.
have a good one, AB. Good looking out.
Yeah, likewise,
right,
man. Appreciate y'all, man. We gotta do this again, man.
Sure. Yes, sir.
Like and
going back to give an election. Yeah, you can subscribe to AB the Hero, most definitely. He's definitely moving the culture forward. I know the election is still too close to call in Nevada and Georgia. These are both swing states. And the Democrats is 49, the Republicans 49 to control the Senate. And we have two swing states that's too close to call.
Ooh. Yeah, you got me on the politics, Dex. Like I don't keep up like at all, like zero. Like I do not keep up like at all. So you got me on the politics. You got me on that one.
Yeah, because you know it's election night, so you know what I mean. A lot of people probably swinging through CSNBC, CNN, Fox News, Bloomberg News. So those
I'm good. I'm not. I'm good. Yeah, I'm not keeping up. If it's not about the presidents, I don't care. Like,
right.
Yeah, that's me though.
Yeah, I mean, to each his own. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, like I said, you got to vote. You got to vote your conscience because.
Where's your phone?
Who's that?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm Vern's woman.
Okay. How you doing,
Okay.
Auntie?
Shout out.
I'm
Yeah.
doing fine. I'm doing fine.
Okay,
How
is
are
he
you
asleep?
guys doing? He's got to come down and get his phone. He took his
Oh,
food
okay.
up.
All right.
He took his food up and forgot his phone.
Okay.
All right. So do we
So
call
We
he'll
her
be
still
up
Auntie
there
here.
Vern?
arguing.
Let him know
Yeah,
we still here.
Dex, do we
yeah,
call
he'll
her
be
Auntie
up.
Vern Dex, or like what do we call her? Like,
No, Uncle Vern. That's Auntie. That's his woman. That's
My
Auntie.
name is Sherry.
okay.
Auntie Sherry.
Uh-huh.
Yo, chat, say hi to Auntie Sherry, chat. Say hi, chat.
Hello, guys.
Okay. Let him know we still here though. If he want to get on.
No, I'm right here, Dex. I just
Oh,
got
Oh, okay.
I just came
look
out
at
of
that.
Bible study, Dex. I gotta pray for the world. I gotta pray for myself first and then the world second, Dex.
Yeah,
Facts,
we
Vern.
were talking.
Facts, Vern.
Did you hear me talk about that a little bit?
It's commanded that I love you just like I love myself, and I love me, Dex.
Yes,
Oh,
sir, bro. And I
so nice.
reciprocate that.
You
All right.
prayed for Kyrie too, Vern, or like
Yeah,
pray for
hold
Kyrie
on
one
for a minute.
time?
Hold on, let me turn this music down.
Gotcha.
Hear me talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, okay, I'm back now. What y'all say? What you say about now? What now?
So you pray for Kyrie too? Like you sprinkle some
No.
Kyrie in there?
God got Kyrie all in his hands, bro. Matter of fact, he got Kyrie on our minds, so I know he got him in his hands. He know what's going on. He dictating all this. That's the
Yeah.
politics. That's the politics we was talking about. You said you don't know nothing about. All that's politics, religion, and all that stuff. Politics, bro.
Yeah.
Like you said, you don't know nothing about that. So hey.
Yeah. I stay now. If it's not about the presidents, I'm out of that.
But
I
wait
need
around.
dead presidents to represent me. I
Okay,
need dead presidents to represent me.
There
okay,
you go. I
Nazir
like that in you,
Dex.
Dex.
Nazir Dex, it was written.
Yeah, Dex know what's happening. But yeah, Trump will be back.
Oh my gosh. I didn't mean to jump over there. I didn't mean to jump straight to that. Trump? Oh gosh. 2024?
He's hitting at it. He's definitely hitting at it.
Mm-hmm. You just told you the Republicans to get back in control of the Senate. That's all they needed, them two votes to get back control of the Senate.
But they're not there yet, though. That's too close to call.
It ain't too close.
See, but how would Trump
That's Georgia and Nevada. Georgia and Nevada.
But see, my question is, how would Trump beat Biden though? Like, how would Trump beat him? It seems like Biden is, he got
his popularity his popularity in the polls are shrinking.
Well, especially with black people, because he didn't do what he promised he was gonna do.
Why? Because the gas prices, Vern? The gas prices or like inflation?
None of that got nothing to do with it. It came down to when they had them guys, that one guy that senator out there in West Virginia, and then that other senator lady that was out there in Florida, and there was another guy somewhere. But they didn't go when they had a lot of things that was going on in Congress then at that time. All they needed was all them votes that they say that they had and everything else. But those three Democrats, they held out. They held out for their own righteous order, whichever that might be, money, opportunity, or anything else, but they held out and they crippled up the Democratic Party with a whole lot of things come down, votes and voting and all this stuff that they promised they were gonna get. They came up very, very short on it.
Okay,
very short.
I thought it was the gas prices.
Yeah, no, boy. It was messed up before the gas prices got bad. Before the war even started, it was messed up then. Biden was going in the wrong direction because he didn't have his whole peoples with him like Trump did.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, if it's not about the presidents, like I'm not voting.
And then that go right back to my thing. What I was gonna say at first. See, Dex was right. See, the Democrats had it right. Now they messed up and they ain't coming up short. A lot of black people ain't gonna be voting like they've been voting before. But then at that time, when Trump come back, a lot of black people ain't gonna be voting at all because they don't believe in no Biden. And Biden might even make it to there. It might be Pamela Harris, and she ain't gonna go nowhere fast.
Yeah, it's funny. I thought I heard Biden made a mistake the other day. He said, I really love our president, Miss Kamala Harris. They was like, whoa, president. You mean Vice President Biden? He was like, Vice. And he tried to correct himself quick.
Mm-hmm. You see now, he got dementia. We're gonna show signs of dementia. Next 2 years, he have full dementia.
Yeah,
right? That's just the way it is.
Yeah. So man. Shout out to the election, man. At least the NBA will be back tomorrow. There was no NBA today. No nothing. So
yeah, because of voting day.
Right. So tomorrow NBA will be back full effect. I think everybody plays tomorrow. So I'll be waiting for that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yes, yeah. Dex went ahead and bounced out, so I don't know what Flight about to do. Yeah. Man, shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Shout out to Flight Sports TV. I'm about to do the promo for Dex. You know, the voice of the voiceless. Shout out to Rave, you know, Uncle Vern, AB the Hero who just pulled up. We got Flight, Dex. Shout outs to Coffee. Coffee pulled up. Look, everybody, Coffee came in. You know, he said his piece. He spoke. Everybody go. Matter of fact, everybody, like after Flight, go ahead and end the stream. Go watch Coffee's speech earlier in the stream. It was crazy, y'all. It was lit. I mean, it was a little graphic, but it was fire. Go check that out. Shout out to Coffee for pulling up. Who else we had? Marquez pulling up. Shout out to everybody who listened. And yeah, Flight Sports TV, you already know. Subscribe, like, comment, all of that. Yeah. Dex, I just did the promo, Dex.
Flight Sports TV.
Yeah. So, Vern, did you hear what Coffee said earlier? Like, did you everything?
Yeah, I heard a lot of it. And then I had to go to Bible study, so I didn't hear the rest of it. But yeah, Coffee right, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, you can't pull no punches on this right here. And I'm gonna tell you something about what the NBA and Stern and all them with them peoples, you know what I'm saying? They ain't gonna pull too much and make no much noise about this because the truth gonna be told. The truth already known.
Yeah.
So it come down to, like, say, for instance, it come down to a court battle where you said, just I ain't doing nothing representing the truth. You understand? I ain't doing nothing speaking the truth. And if you sit up there and say I'm degrading you or telling lies on you, we can take it to court. And when it go to court, it won't look good in the NBA's favor or in that manner that they're trying to represent. You understand me?
Yeah, yeah.
So it won't look good for them. So when all the evidence come out, you understand me? It's just like me saying you physically sick from some disease, and I don't know about you, and I know about your disease. So I said your disease, and then you say, "Well, I did. I'm suing for defamation of character. He lied on me." But then I can turn around and prove that you have that certain disease, and then all of a sudden I'm not lying no more, am I?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if I can prove the truth is the truth is the truth, then hey, it's up to you to prove that it ain't true.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why Adam Silver met with Kyrie today.
They don't want to take it that much further because they're gonna have to start proving things because things start going to court. When you start talking about messing with people's money.
Yeah, Adam Silver he know.
Yeah.
Talking about they agreed. I'm sure Kyrie said a thing or two too. I'm sure Kyrie put his 2 cents in, but they don't want to say that part. But yeah, chat again. Everybody who's listening, go ahead and check out Coffee's speech earlier in the stream. It was crazy. It was deep. You know, it's a little graphic, but you know, y'all could bear with it. You know. I like how Coffee he hit it with the Black Power, but can't explain to us what does open the game night mean. But
yeah.
I'm messing with you, Coffee. We still want to know what open the game night mean. Is it preseason or the season? So, but yeah, like
the real is the real, man. You know, you can't fake real, B. You can't.
Facts.
A lot of people will hide from you, you know what I'm saying, because they stand to lose. A lot of people don't stand to lose nothing, but a lot of people ain't got nothing to lose. But they really want to know the truth. And the truth be told, hey, y'all ain't them peoples.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. So what's crazy is they said Kyrie's out for 5 games. Chat, does anybody know how many games it's been that Kyrie's been out? Because after those 5 games, you see that? Go ahead, Vern.
He's coming back on the 13th of November.
So 13th,
they
right?
Playing in LA.
Okay, but they said they still want Kyrie to go through that process. So if Kyrie doesn't complete that process within those 5 games, is he out for more games because of the process that they want him to do, or
they're gonna cancel the process because that's what what's the name that Brown dude from Boston. That's why he's speaking up right now.
Oh, Jaylen Brown, he's gonna appeal it.
They're gonna wipe that up under the rug.
Yeah, they're gonna appeal it. Okay, gotcha. And good looks, Shannon Hall. Good looks. Bet Shannon Hall. Okay, I got you. Dallas, Charlotte, Washington, got you. Yeah, okay, yeah. Shout out to Jaylen Brown. Yeah, he said they're gonna appeal that. Yeah, that's wild. Talking about they want him to go to a meeting. Like if it's like if Kyrie's going to like an alcoholic course.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you something.
Yeah.
That's why I'm gonna tell you something. Sorry for cutting you off, young man, but still don't listen to me. When it comes down to a court of law, right? Remember always you got a right to an attorney, especially when a person that's sitting up there that's paying you, your boss, come around and want to make orders and threats. First of all, you're gonna have to have somebody that represent you. You just don't be Kyrie Irving. Wake up. You know they coming at 11:30, and you get up at 11 o'clock and start walking around, start eating some food, and then they at your door, and you gotta listen to them because you don't know how many people they brought with them. And they keep notes.
Facts.
And you just sitting up there with a plate full of eggs and some sardines or something. That ain't gonna work. You better get you some it's called representation. It says if you're gonna make noise, you better know what it is you're talking about, be able to bag that up. Because you stand to lose a lot, young man. And he's got a lot to lose.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he know what he's doing. If he don't, he's a dang fool.
Yeah, so hopefully Kyrie could be able to watch Black Panther Wakanda Forever. I hope they don't take that from him neither. For real, what they doing to Kyrie, man. Can't even go to the movie theaters. Man. Yep. For real. But look, listen, Dex, he already went on out of here. I don't know if he's gonna pull back or return. Flight, he should be coming back through. Again, chat, go ahead and play this stream back. This stream was one for the greatest. You know, it's going to be great again come tomorrow when Flight come up again. The NBA games are back tomorrow. There's B. Morale that's checking in here. Shout out to Uncle Vern. He came from Bible study. We also met Miss Auntie Sherry. You know what did I get the name right, Vern? Auntie Sherry, that's right?
You got it right. You got it. Yeah.
Right. So we also, she said you just had some dinner. Hold on, Vern, what you had? You had some good cooking?
Pizza and what's the name? Pizza and garlic bread with cheese.
I thought Auntie Sherry would be throwing down, Vern. I thought she'd be throwing down in the kitchen.
Today we ordered pizza, bro.
All right. No, I feel you. Yeah, she gotta have some nights off.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Chad, you already know. Go ahead and play the stream back. This was one for the ages. AB pulled up. Everybody pulled up. So you already know, Chad. This is B. Morale. I'm checking out. Shout out to you, Uncle Vern, Flight. Everybody, I'm checking out.
All right, B. Morale.
Flight Sports TV, man. That's my dude. I rolls with him.
You heard what the man said. It's Flight Sports TV.
Like I said, Flight Sports TV, that's where it's at.